David, yeah.
David. Okay.
Yeah.
How do your parent? What did your parents call you, David, or did they say David, or do they have a different?
Actually, I was born in Georgia, so my birth name was Dato. But after we went to Israel, it became David. That's why I have a bit of a funny name, David Ben David. It used to be Davidashvili.
Oh, what? Say it used to be what? Dilashvili.
Davidashvili, because
Dila.
I was born in Georgia, and Shvili means son. So I was the son of David, which is now Ben David, which is in Hebrew, son of David.
Hey, Georgia, like just north of Armenia, Georgia.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
If you know Lasha, the weightlifter,
Uh-huh.
is from there. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of I watched the UFC. A lot of great fighters from Georgia.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Marab, and then they got the new Spanish guys claiming he's from Georgia too.
Yeah. Georgians are strong people for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. How old were you when you moved to Israel?
Actually, I was one.
Well, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Eh,
So after the Soviet Union was done, my parents had the opportunity to flee, basically. So they came to Israel.
And what year was that? Like 82, 80, 80?
No, it was 92.
92. Okay.
Yeah.
Shows my history. And then how did your family end up there? Did your family end up in Georgia after World War II or during World War II?
Actually, like historically, I don't know exactly, but in Georgia there was like a big Jewish community for many years.
Mhm.
And but like my father had, like, since he was a kid, he had a dream of going to Israel
Mhm.
because he was Jewish, and for many years it was forbidden to go because of the Soviet Union. Everything was closed. So in 1992, it was the first time they had the opportunity. So like they seized the moment and they went.
Did a lot of Israelis come back home after the fall of the Soviet Union? Was that a big like exodus? A lot.
Yeah, yeah. Just from the Soviet Union, I think over a million.
Wow.
Which is for Israel, which is today we have 10 million in Israel, which is a lot.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So yeah, 10% of the population. I'm gonna pull up. I don't think a lot of people know where Israel is. I think that they think they know where it is. Tiny, 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 tiny. I want. Is Israel big, smaller than Armenia? Is Israel smaller than Georgia?
I think. Yeah, first of all, yes. Then Georgia, yes, probably. There is an Armenia as well.
I
Israel is actually one of the smallest countries in the world.
do you know what the dimensions are? Like roughly, is it like 100 miles by 200 miles or something like that?
I'm not sure by miles, but in kilometers it will be 450. I can check.
Okay, I'll look on Wiki in a second.
All right.
So basically, you're wedged in here. God, you're like Armenia. You have some great neighbors. You're wedged in here between Egypt and Jordan. And is Jordan a country or a kingdom, or what is Jordan? Is it a kingdom?
Jordan is basically a country, but they also have a king. So it's like, let's say, United Kingdom. It's a
Okay.
country, but they also have like the king that is the ruler. So we have Egypt, Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon, which today Egypt and Jordan are basically, we have like a truce, like a peace, like contract. I don't know how to say it, but basically they're all, let's say, Islamic, unloving Jews countries.
Yeah, that's like Armenia. They got Islamic hating Christian countries on every side of them too. Lucky us. At least you guys have access to the water.
Yeah.
The Russians left Armenians in a really fuck spot. They landlocked them. Have you ever seen this mess over here? This is totally off subject, David. But they got Azerbaijan here, and then they put Armenia here, but then they made another piece of Azerbaijan here. So Armenia splits Azerbaijan in half. Of course they hate the Armenians. They want their country whole again.
Yeah.
It's such, what a mess. Okay, and then this country, Syria, is extremely unstable.
Exactly. And actually, a few months ago, there was Assad, which was the ruler for many, many years, he was dethroned.
Yeah.
And so there is a big thing going on in there. But actually, it's supposed to be very good for Israel because Assad in Syria had a huge military power, and which for many years they were like targeting Israel, and when all the dethroning happened, Israel like used the moment and basically destroyed all the military power of Syria.
Okay.
This thing happened like a few months ago.
And then is it really just Damascus that's unstable? I mean, it's a big country. Is the rest of Syria pretty stable and
basically most of it, but it's because they use Syria because in the end Iran is using Syria as a way to give also weapons to Lebanon, which in Lebanon there is Hezbollah, which Hezbollah is fighting us, Israel, because Iran is trying to use like Hezbollah in Lebanon and Hamas in Gaza, trying to fight Israel because they see Israel as the big enemy, which is connected to the US. So instead of trying to like fight us directly, they try to use like different allies, let's say.
Yeah, but they're basically gangs. They fund gangs to attack Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
And that Iran's over here.
Yeah.
So these guys fund groups around you to fuck with your shit.
Yeah. So Hezbollah, Gaza, and also from Yemen, also the Houthim, they also been targeting Israel for months now. They've been shooting rockets. Actually, the last year and a half in Israel has been like insane. I don't know if you've seen, but rockets from 4 different areas going in Israel. Like the joke in Israel that if we have a like siren, we don't even know from where it's coming this time.
Which direction? Where's Yemen? I don't see Yemen. Where is it?
Yemen, go to the south. Yeah, and you're gonna see it. No, the other side.
Oh, here it is. Oh, wow, they're way down here. These guys have an issue with you too?
Yeah.
Dude, these guys need to mind their own business. Wow.
Yeah.
And how many people live in Israel? 10 or 12 million?
Now it's 10 million, but from the 10 million, we have around 2 million which are Israeli Arabs. Most of them are Muslims, and also we have 1 or 2 million which are extremely Orthodox Jews. So yeah.
Hey, I know it's a big story, but is it basically if Israel puts its guns down, all your neighbors would come in and kill you, but if your neighbors put their guns down, you wouldn't go in and kill them? Is that?
Yeah, exactly. This is actually a very famous saying of Golda Meir, which was the prime minister of Israel, and she said, which is 100% true. Like if Israel will lay down their weapons, there will be no more Israel. But if the Arabs, let's say, will lay down their weapons, there's going to be peace. Because even if you look at the most, let's say, right-wing Israelis, in the end, everyone wants peace in Israel.
Right.
Like we have no aspirations of killing the Arabs or killing the Muslims. We just want to live in our land in peace, and it's just not the same for the other side, let's say.
Yeah, we noticed in our streets. And how? So we have this country to the south of us in the United States, David, called Mexico, and it's really weird because like you can just open a history book and be like, hey, 300 years ago there was no such thing as Mexicans. You know, the Spanish came over and raped these people, and that happens. You know, it happens. And then there was a giant psyop, psychological operation, to call them Mexicans and make them their own people, and they gave them a new religion. And now, like, everyone refers to them like they're people. It's like we have dog breeds older than these fucking people. Like they were completely taken it. They were, you know what I mean? They've been completely transformed. The Europeans came over, raped these little tiny people, and then they just like, okay, you're Mexican now. How old is Israel? how old are Jews? How long have Jews like
Okay,
been a
so
dog
Israel,
breed on the country? You know, the Mexicans only 300 years old. How old are the Jews?
okay, so Israel was established in 1948.
Yeah,
But if you look at the Bible, historically,
yeah.
the land of Israel was of the Israeli people of Jews since the dawn of time, like 5,000 years ago.
So one of the first people was Adam a Jew?
So there was actually there is like it's not 100% sure, but basically yes.
Okay, so the first person's a Jew.
Like depends on like which religion you go with, but yeah, like Jesus was Jewish at first.
The king of the Jews.
Yeah.
I tell my kids that all the time. They're like, "Is Jesus cool?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's the king of the Jews." Like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it didn't tax anyone in King of the Jews. Okay, that's really going to piss a lot of people off. But listen, if you don't believe what this is saying, we're not. I'm not trying to fucking convince anyone of fucking anything. So you just, everyone chill just because you read the Bible and studied it from the 8th grade to for 30 years. You just relax. I'm just trying to get a understanding. And these Jewish people, there's how many of them are there in the world total?
I think around, let's say 16, between 16 to 20, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so very few.
Yeah.
Out of the 8 or 9 billion people on the planet, you're dropping the bucket. You guys get a disproportionate amount of attention.
Actually, I will tell you an interesting fact. You know the Nobel Prize that you get for chemistry, for mathematics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Actually, the Jewish people like hold, I don't know, like a crazy percentage from the people that won the Nobel Prize.
Right.
Like 30% of all the people that won a Nobel Prize of science, something like that.
The wiki page says that something like Ashkenazi Jews are like a standard or 2 deviations smarter than the average people. I know you're not supposed to say that, but I think it might be true. I mean, the Chinese probably have something to say, but
I don't know.
Okay, and wow, and tell me the name of the CrossFit gym you own.
So I own six of them.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So the first one, which I'm in right now, is CrossFit White City, which is in Tel Aviv, which is, let's say, the biggest city in Israel, and it's also the biggest affiliate in Israel because we have over 1,000 members. Just in this one.
Are you the sole owner of all 6 of these gyms, David?
No. So 2 of them, me and my wife, we are 100%. And 4 of them, we work in a model of like partnership. So we own 50%, and we have a partner that operates like physically the location. And
what year did you open your first gym?
So it was 2015. Actually, the first one was one that I'm not owning right now. I sold it after. And after that, after I met my wife, like actually we bought this gym, CrossFit White City, and like it skyrocketed from there. Like we had the opportunity to open up the second one, which is in Ashdod, which is in the south of Israel, which is where I live. Which is actually, you won't believe, but it's 30 minutes drive from Gaza Strip.
Holy shit!
Actually, Dave, you probably know, but Dave Castro was here like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and we gave him a full tour near the Gaza Strip and all the areas that were attacked in the war.
Yeah. So, and this is Gaza here.
Yeah, exactly. So if you see Ashkelon, which is in the that one, if you go a little bit up, you're gonna see here's Ashdod.
Hey, is this area beautiful? Is this water clean and you can swim and all that stuff?
Yeah, of course, very beautiful.
And there's beautiful people running around like in bathing suits and stuff and all that.
So the affiliate we have in Ashdod, which you can see if you go up a little bit in the map, actually the affiliate is on the water, on the beach.
Wow.
Yeah.
And these are cool places. This is like tourist and kids playing on the beach and girls with no clothes on and all that, like just normal ocean shit.
Yeah, of course. I think that the average American would think that Israelis are riding camels or riding a tank, but actually, it's not. It's not. It's pretty normal here.
Oh, what are you guys like? If you were to lump you up with a group, like, are you guys considered Middle Eastern people?
Middle Eastern, yeah.
Are there any dark Israelis? Like, are there any dark Jews?
Actually, yeah, because some of the Jews that came to Israel came from Africa, from countries like, let's say, Ethiopia, and from Yemen and from Morocco. So Israel is actually like a mix of all like cultures, because we have Ashkenazi, which is from, let's say, Poland or Germany or places in Europe, and so those Jews will be a little bit like more white. But the Jews that came from Africa, they will be a little bit darker.
Yeah, my wife's Ashkenazi, and then I know another guy who's Ashkenazi, and yeah, they're kind of red. They almost look Irish, but with they got the Jew nose, but the Irish hair. Hey,
Yeah.
and those people like those people were like a small tribe, right? Like my wife, like I guess there was concerns. I mean, we didn't worry about it, but when you mate with the Ashkenazi, you got to be careful because they were so close to inbreeding that you got to be careful, like the kid doesn't come out.
I think historically, I think it's true. Like obviously today, it's not the case, but it is that if two Ashkenazi in Israel are like married together and they want to have a kid, they need to do more testing to make sure that the baby won't have like any defects.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, my wife, when I married my wife and we had a kid, someone said we had to have it checked. We didn't. They turned out okay. I mean, because I'm from Armenia and we got a small gene pool, very small gene pool. We got some weird shit going on over there.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Jews in Israel, 3,500 years. Islam invented 1,300 years ago. Bear with me here, David. And I don't know if you're like a Bible historian, but basically, the Jews and Islam are just a family fight, right? Like the family, just you guys are the same family, but there was a fight, like a father fought with his brother and they broke off.
Okay, so
two brothers fought.
The first monotheist, which believed that there is one God, was the Jewish religion, the Jews, and from that after there was Jesus that started Christianity, and also Ishmael that started the Islam.
But wasn't Ishmael like brothers with someone? It's basically one family, and the two brothers got in a fight, and now it's two religions, but it's really just all one family.
Yeah, basically, yes. Yeah.
Like in the United States, we have that shit. We call them Southern Hicks. You know, like we have like the Hatfields and the McCoys, and like the families broke apart, and then they fight in the mountains now. That kind of shit.
Yeah.
God, this thing has gone on way too long. It's crazy. It's almost embarrassing that we have cars and jet airplanes and we can't figure the two families fighting out.
Exactly.
What a fight.
Yeah.
What a fight. Okay, so why did Dave come there? Just to say hi, or was he there on official business, or are you guys doing an open announcement there? Yeah. Can you have any insights?
Actually, it was super surprising because we thought at first it was coming because of the war, because we wanted to see what's going on. But I think it was also because Dave, as you probably know, is very connected to the SEALs and to the special forces. So one of his friends, which came to Israel to work closely with the special forces in Israel and the Yamam, which is like the SWAT team in Israel. So like he sent him like a picture that they have like a CrossFit gym in one of the locations, and it started from that. And then he wanted to come because he connected it with the trip in Germany. And I think he had a really good time because he met with very good affiliates, but he also got a very, very good like tour in the areas of Gaza and saw everything. I think he got a very good perspective, because when you come to Israel, I think it's very surprising for, let's say, Americans to see that our war is like our back door. Like it's basically 30 minutes from where I live. This is where the Hamas is located.
When Dave fought in the war, he had to fly for 15 hours straight in a jet at 30,000 feet into a completely foreign land. And what you're saying is you're like, bye, honey, I'm going to put my life on the line today. You put on your bulletproof jacket and you go.
Exactly.
Holy shit.
Exactly. So when Israeli soldiers go to the war, let's say, to fight, they really feel like they're protecting their home, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not, Americans can't comprehend that at all. Well, I mean, in some places we're starting to, just because the country, some of our big cities have turned into like,
yeah,
I mean, complete fucking disasters.
But since Trump got elected, like in the media, it feels like there is a lot of change. But
yeah,
as an American, like, you feel it?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, before anything I posted had a warning on it.
Really?
Oh yeah, it used to be. It used to be you just walked around and you basically didn't know. You basically felt you were in everyone in the at least, you know, I'm from California, so I'm in a really, really fucked up spot, you know, intellectually,
Yeah.
and a beautiful land, but intellectually just completely lost people. And I mean, I live in the land where right after they murdered and raped all these Israeli women, actual Jewish people took the streets to protest against Israel. I mean, you see some really weird shit in my state. But since Trump, it's like more and more you see people will actually come out and be like, stand up. I mean, basically, I understand now what happened in Germany. I understand how after COVID, after what I saw what happened to the people in COVID, and after what I'm seeing what's happening with like the things with Israel, you see why the German people slaughtered the Jews in World War II. Because it's so easy for people to be scared and not speak up. I mean, people won't even speak up for their children in my country. It's absolutely.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like they'll tell you, hey, oh my God, you won't believe the stuff they're teaching my kid in school, and then the next day they send their kids to school. I mean, I have hundreds of friends like that. It's nuts.
Like as an Israeli, because in October 2023, when the war started,
yeah,
and they came in and slaughtered Israelis, innocent Israelis, and kidnapped people and raped women and everything.
Pro Palestinian people they killed and raped.
Yeah, because they don't care. They were bloodthirst and they killed everyone.
Yeah.
So, and after you would think that the world would be, I don't know, maybe more sympathetic, but in the end, we're too little, too few, the Jews, you know. And if you look at the Islam, there are so many of them, and people are afraid to speak up because after, I don't know, they're gonna get I don't know, hate from the Islamic people, you know.
Well, I mean, you see what's happening all over the world now, right? You see what's happening in France. I don't know if you saw what happened yesterday, but or a couple days ago, J.D. Vance, our vice president, said, hey, we might have our first Islamic nation with a nuclear weapon. And someone goes, what's that? And he said, the United Kingdom. And now there's people there who are like, hey, we're 20 years away from this country. And it's for the same reason. You see what's happening there. They've had thousands and thousands of little girls raped there, but they're afraid to say something.
Exactly.
Because they will be called Islamophobic. And I mean, if you watch TV and you're not Islamophobic, that's like watching TV and not being afraid of rattlesnakes. It's like, hey, you better it's not a bad thing. It's like just a sense of discernment. Because
in Israel, like, pro-Palestinians are trying to say that the reason Palestinians are doing like bombings and like the terrorist attacks in Israel is because we took their land. But they're doing it in Europe. They're doing it in the US. Like,
right.
Like you can't, like, I don't know. It's not about land. It's an ideology and like religion fight that there's obviously not all of them, but a big part won't stop until we will be completely gone.
There's this stat there. I mean, all the stats in the news are just crazy. I don't know why people don't see them, but there's this one stat. I wonder if you think it's real. that not a single Muslim country has taken a single Palestinian. They're all, the only countries that are taking them are like Australia, like Egypt won't take them, Jordan won't take them. It's like, hey, why aren't you taking your people? They're all going to Australia, the UK, and the United States and Canada. Why don't they just bomb that gate between Israel and Egypt and let all the people run out?
But who? Israel will bomb it? Like, who will bomb it? And they will, like, Egypt doesn't want to take him because it's over 1 million people, uneducated people that from the day they were born were taught that they need to kill Jews.
Well, they are educated. I know that's the problem. Is that true? Is that true too? We saw a stat here in the United States that 86% of Palestinians thought that October 7th was just.
Actually, I would think that even more, but yeah, it's probably true. When the Hamas terrorists were taking women that they kidnapped into Gaza, the people in Gaza were celebrating. They were spitting on them. Like, you would see tens of thousands of people celebrating that innocent women were taken like captive into Gaza to be raped. Yep.
Another article came out that I saw this morning that 8% of the Palestinian budget goes to a yearly fee to reward people for killing Jews. It's not even like a hidden thing. I was just thinking, imagine if we had a country, imagine if Mexico had a program where if you killed an American, they get money for the rest of their lives. Like, if you write a letter to the Palestinian Authority and say you killed a Jew, you get a stipend the rest of your life. I can't imagine another country tolerating that. I mean,
yeah, actually, it's really the reality here. And now, after a year and a half of war in Gaza, Israel has killed tens of thousands of terrorists. But now they're almost at 90% of the troops they had, because today in Gaza, probably the most lucrative job you can have is being a Hamas terrorist, because they are the only ones that has money, and there is no other jobs. So if you want to provide for a family, like, the best job today is to go and kill Israelis.
I know it's absolutely wild. I mean, I just listen to this, people. If you live imagine just your neighboring country. If someone came and killed you and filmed it with their cell phone, they could submit it to their government and get paid for the rest of their lives. And you know what? If you die, your family still gets the money.
Exactly. Today, for Palestinians, like in Islam, there is the word called shahid. Shahid is someone that died in the name of God, but usually someone that died trying to kill, let's say, Israelis or like Western people that don't believe in Islam. And if you're a shahid, you're considered a hero, and also your family is getting paid for life after.
Yeah, it's nuts. Yeah, going back to the Trump thing, there are big changes here. We're seeing people being scooped up and deported every day, 500 to 1,000 people every single day. The news stations that are showing this footage are more popular than ever. Yeah. I don't know what crime is like in Israel, but we have a real big crime problem here. And what's happening is that people on the left who, the ones that, we have this group of people in this country who hate all minorities, but they pretend like they love them and they just feel sorry for them, right? They just feel sorry for you. They just want to help you. But now that these people are getting robbed and shit, they're like, okay, you know what I mean? That, my daughter was raped. Yep, that's enough. Yeah. So we do have this. That's basically what happened. We had this huge shift. Food got too expensive, and too many people's moms and sisters were getting diddled, and I'm guessing that's what's going to happen in the UK. I'm guessing those men will finally grow a set.
But that is happening like in California or like in all states?
You can see the map. It's happening just in the really big, rich cities. Los Angeles, San Francisco, Oakland, New York, wow. The Chicago, the cities. And what they didn't expect is the other groups of people here, the lesser wealthy, like, kind of demographics, like the blacks and the Mexicans, they also are tired of it. They just want to work and raise their kids too. Is it like that there? How are the How are the Arabs who live in Israel? Are they like, fuck, what are our brothers doing? Like, hey, we're not a part of that shit.
Okay, so some of them, yeah, like I think like a big percentage, like us, they want to live, they want to provide for their family,
Yeah.
and like they are torn apart from, okay, we want to live a normal life, but our brothers are fighting the right war, let's say. So I think I don't want to say like million or 2 million people are all the same, because it won't be true. But many Arabs in Israel are living like a very good normal life. And today, to live as an Arab in Israel, it's probably like the best place to be an Arab, like in
Yeah.
the Middle East or in the world.
Yeah.
It's the only democrat country for Arabs. So yeah, so basically, so part of them wanna be like part of Israel, but the other part says they want to just destroy Israel. So it depends like who you ask in the end.
That's another thing. So the Americans that hate Israel, all of them that have ever said to them, I asked them one question: I'm gonna let you live in any Muslim country you want, or Israel. You get 54 Muslim countries or Israel. Which one do you want to go to? They're like, I'll go to Israel. I'm like, no, what's wrong? You don't want to go to Tehran? It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah. None of them. It's wild. No one's like, oh yeah, put me in Tehran. Or Baghdad. I'm so excited. Yeah. Send me to Turkey. No one.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Man. Hey, this is pretty controversial, but I'm all for it. I hear Trump saying, let's get everyone out of Gaza. And I've since the beginning, for 20 years, I've thought that Gaza should be cleaned out and turned into the next Monaco. They should make it like the wealthiest city in the world.
It could be.
Yeah. They should make it just for billionaires and just a crazy spot. What a great piece of land. It's a beautiful piece of land, right?
Yeah. Very beautiful. On the beach, a lot of agriculture. Yeah, amazing piece of land.
Can they give all those people there $500,000 and be like, okay, here's $500,000. Don't ever come back.
Like many Israelis were a little bit too afraid to say it out loud. But now that Trump is saying that,
yeah,
like it's gonna, honestly, it's gonna be a dream come true. I don't know if it's gonna be able to make it happen, but I don't know. Let's hope.
I hope maybe he'll buy it from them. We can have our 51st state over there. He's really looking for a 51st state. You know, he keeps saying it.
Really? Like, but why? Like, what's the incentive?
We get Gaza and tax the shit out of it and protect it for rich people, or we get Greenland and we give if there's 57,000 people there, you give them all $1 million, and now you have all of that oil and minerals, and you have a better strategic location. I mean, Canada, so much oil, and the people there are miserable. It's a shithole country, but their homes are twice as expensive as ours. Like, it makes no sense.
Well,
but you're free, but there's no sun there. So become part of the United States. Don't have to worry about, Trudeau and all that, in the 20% carbon tax and whatever weird shit they're doing up there. And I like it. It's fun. It's very fun here in the United States. I mean, if you don't like Trump, it's not fun at all. You're just completely freaking out. You know what I mean?
So I like Trump. Most of the Israelis like Trump very much. So yeah, and Trump is very, very loved in Israel, like mostly.
We have a Supreme Court here. It's like our highest court.
Yeah,
and they had a lady come in front of our Senate, to interview her before she got the job, and they asked her, "Do you know what a woman is?" And she said, "I'm not a biologist." I'm so glad that shit's over. Do you know what I mean? I'm so glad that's over. I mean, at least for a little while, right? I mean, we were going crazy watching this shit. Just imagine giving the keys. Do you have kids, David?
Yeah, of course, too.
Imagine giving your kids all your credit cards and your bank account and your car. You would be like, what the fuck is going on? You'd be freaking out every day, right?
But do you see like is there a real change in that? Like how do like when Trump came in and said, okay, there are two genders.
Yeah.
Like in the day-to-day life, like there was a difference.
The thing is you can now say it on Instagram without getting banned. So for the first part, we feel like we got our freedom of speech back. We had freedom of speech taken away in this country. I mean, you couldn't say the vaccine is killing people, even though you could go to the government website and see thousands of people dead from the vaccine, but you weren't allowed to say it. I mean, it was in my state, the doctors aren't allowed to give any advice counter to what the state narrative is. I mean, this is like shit. Like when we were kids, we read about that happened in Russia. We're like those idiots, and now it was here. And so all of that is being lifted, right? And like, you know, like we had a huge part, you know, a neighborhood burned down in California last week, a very wealthy neighborhood in a fire. And instead of like, Trump went over there and basically called the mayor a fucking idiot.
Really?
Yeah. And he's like, hey, yeah, what the fuck? Like, what you got? And right in front of the whole country in a press conference, told her like, oh, you're fucking stupid. And so like, that's good for us. You know what I mean? Because before it would be like, our best interests are for you. And so we're at least we're getting the rhetoric. So makes us all feel empowered.
So basically, many Americans are sick of the all political correctness.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Very well said. Yeah, we just want to tell the truth.
Okay.
You know.
Cool.
Hey, do you guys have that there in Israel? Was it taboo to speak out? Like if you said anything about Islam, were you called Islamophobic, and so that caused people to?
Yeah, of course. If you say certain things, you will be called racist or homophobic. Yeah, of course. And in some way, I think it's okay, but everything needs to be like in the right, let's say, dimensions, or everything that is it's too much. Like for someone that is Jewish, and our like, let's say, people who've been to the Holocaust and everything, we know the effect of racism, okay? But when it's too much already, sometimes you need to say the truth. That Islam, let's say radical Islam, is dangerous, and you're not supposed to be afraid to say it because it's true. So
do they let boys play women's sports in Israel?
What?
Do they let men play in women's sports in Israel?
Wow. I think there was maybe a precedent, one or two, but mostly no.
They don't. Okay, because here that's the kind of shit that's driving some of us crazy. That there's men beating up on women in women's sports.
That is happening mostly in California, or in
the whole, well, once again, the blue states, the East Coast, you know, New York, New Hampshire, Boston, California. The Olympics, we saw it in the Olympics.
Right. Yeah.
Boxing.
Yeah.
David Weed. Wow, David, this is a list. I never agree with David. Islam is the biggest problem we all face. Wow, that's a great photo of Trump. I'm pretty sure Trump eats a hot dog sideways.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you a really personal question. This might offend you. How come Israelis don't have never sent anyone? Have you guys ever sent anyone to the games? What's wrong with you guys? You guys a bunch of pussies?
Actually, we sent a few for the teens. So Israelis were very good for the teens. Okay, so
here's my thought. You guys are more into aesthetic than function. I think you're.
No.
Brazilians. You're like the Brazilians.
Okay, so two main reasons probably. One, it's the numbers. We're a pretty small country, but the second one, all Israelis need to go at the age of 18 to serve in the military.
Mm-hmm.
So, and usually from 18 to 21, these 3 years are the years that you build most of your fitness, let's say. So when you take that, it's difficult to come back after, you know. So these two factors, I think, are the main reasons that it's more difficult as an Israeli to be like a top tier athlete. But we have a pretty big strong community in Israel in the CrossFit space. Actually, even after the war, during the war, which the CrossFit community was hit very, very hard. Even for us, for my affiliates, we lost 6 members for the war. 6. One coach and four members were killed in the 7th of October or during the war, and many more, and thousands were recruited again, like in the reserve duty. So the community was hit very, very hard. But even in this year, the community got even bigger, because we grew from around 65 affiliates in Israel to 75 today. So the community is strong in Israel of the CrossFit.
So you had members in Ashkelon that lived in the town that was attacked, and you had a member die there?
Not in Ashkelon, even Ashkelon as well, but in Sderot and in the areas just which are the closest to Gaza.
Yeah.
So the people that live there, and also members that were in the special forces that were went there to protect the people, were killed, because on the 7th of October, thousands of terrorists came in. So over 1,000 Israelis that died that day.
So this section's Gaza here. Where did they come in?
So this is the thing. Israel was always getting ready for small attacks, small groups of terrorists coming in under the floor or inside. But on the 7th of October, they did a blitz attack. They came 3,000 terrorists all at once, and they came in from 20 or 30 different locations
along this line here.
Also this one, but if you go to the south as well, all the way down, tens or even hundreds of locations, they cut through the fence and they went in, and every place they went into the villages and started killing people, and that way it was so difficult to stop, and it took almost 2 days to stop, because they went into houses, they took civilian hostages, and each situation usually it's a big deal, to a hostage situation. So imagine you have hundreds of those
along this whole border, basically saying along the entire border.
Yeah, exactly. So if you see Sderot, if you see Be'eri, Re'im, each and every one of these places was attacked with hundreds of terrorists coming in and just killing everyone, babies, women, everyone. The most barbaric thing you can imagine was going on.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I've known Dave a long time, and he used to do, when I knew him, he would do nightly operations, and he's seen some absolutely horrific shit. And he told me that he couldn't fucking believe, he said he went with a brother, a man whose his family or his brother was killed, and he walked him through the village, and he said he couldn't get his head wrapped around what happened. He said it was really a shitload to take in.
We were together. I was together.
Okay. Yeah. He said it was like a first count description. He said it was mind-boggling. Yeah, he said it was he said, dude, you know what I've done, and this was a lot. This was a lot. And I don't know what he's done because Dave hasn't told me, but I was friends with him during his deployments, and I knew that he was doing, every night he would be like, hey, stop talking to me, I have to go to work. And so I know there's a... Were you in the military, David?
Yeah, I was in the combat unit for 3 years. So, yeah.
And did you get pulled from, when this happens, do you get called back up?
Actually, me, no, because a few years ago I stopped doing the reserve, because when the businesses got bigger and everything, I got I don't know if the right name is a discharge, but a way not to go. But many of my friends and affiliate owners and coaches were recruited again. So yeah.
And so there'll be people at your gym, and then were there people that were left to go be in the military, and you still haven't seen them? Have you seen? And they're still in it. They're gone.
I think as an average, 30% of all affiliates in Israel, their members were recruited again. 30%.
Wow, boys and girls.
Mostly the guys.
Mhm.
Mostly the guys. But the numbers are insane. Yeah, because obviously in CrossFit, because many of the people that do CrossFit in Israel are people that went from military, like combat units and special forces units. So the community in Israel like got a huge hit from that, because obviously they had to freeze the members and everything, and yeah.
But and you're saying business is good though now. You're saying that the war, instead of it,
Yeah, so
it's inspired people to be better people or live better lives, or what do you think is the reason why that is?
I think as Israelis we are so, it's sad to say, but we are so used to living like a difficult life. I know, with all the terrorists and all the attacks, that we're used to it, and it's not over yet, because we have over 50 hostages still in Gaza. But yeah, Israelis are trying to live the life, and I think as someone that tries to promote like a healthy lifestyle and everything, people need to people are understanding that the way to fight all this distress and the anxiety that comes with all the war and everything is to find a place that gives you that 1 hour a day that you can like escape a little bit.
Is Israel? Are you guys a fat country? Are you like the U.S.? Are half the people fat?
No, not like in the US, not like in the US, but from, let's say, we have in our affiliates around 3,000 members. 300 of them are teens, because we have big teens groups, and I see year to year that the kids are bigger, are fatter.
Mm.
So yeah, so we're trying to fight the war, but obviously it's a tough one. It's not like in the US, not as bad, but it's getting worse year by year.
David, when you first opened your affiliate in 2015, how many members did you have?
So in the first one, we had around 200.
Mm.
But back in the day, I had almost zero understanding how to run a business. I was a good coach and I was a good athlete, like most affiliate owners, I think, today. But as the years went by, I tried to learn more and more about marketing, sales, business, and I think this is the biggest thing that helped us grow today.
Mm.
So the combination of the professional side and understanding the sport and everything, but also the business side, if you have the combination, I think you can be unstoppable.
You said 200, but when you first opened, did you buy an existing gym?
So the first one, no, we started from zero.
Zero members.
Yeah, zero, and we did like a pre-sale with 30 and grew step by step. But the second one I bought, but it was on the verge of bankruptcy, because I bought it like with 80 or 90 members.
Yeah.
And today we have over 1,000.
So when you first open the gym and you have members come in, I'm guessing you see each member as like a diamond, right? It's like, oh my God, like I'm going to give you something and you're going to let me pursue what I want to pursue. And like, you're so appreciative of them, right? And
Yeah.
people sense that from you. How do you do that when you have 3,000 members? How do you instill that culture? It's like the difference when you go to a cafe and you get the kid versus, when you get the owner. He's like, hi, what's your name? You're like, David. You're like, I've seen you in here a few times. You're like, oh, this motherfucker owns the place,
Okay. Okay.
How do you keep that going with 3,000 people?
Yeah, great question. I think when I had one location, one affiliate with 200 members, I think everyone is expected, and they were seeing me every day, and they expected to get the service from me. But today we have managers and few managers at each location, and each manager has the job to give that personal feeling to the members. So if you come to one of my locations, you don't think that David is like the manager here. Like there is the manager of the location, and most of them, unfortunately, I don't know personally most of the members today, but we have like the logistics and the team that are supposed to give him that personal feeling,
And do you pound that in? Do you pound that into him? You're like, hey, dude, every single person here is a steak on your plate every single week, and like you better like treat them like that it's your sister.
Of course, because just before this podcast, we had a meeting. We went through the last month, how many cancellations we had, how many members, how many leads, everything, and each one of the cancellations, we have a full conversation on. Okay, why he left? What could we do better? Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I mean, you must be doing something right to have that many members. People aren't going to stick around if they're not treated, if they're not acknowledged, right?
Of course, because many affiliate and business owners always talk about the marketing side and bringing more people in. But if you don't have a good LTV, lifetime value, and like a way to get people stay longer, it won't gonna help because it's gonna be like a rounding door.
What did you say? LTV, long-term value?
Lifetime value, LTV.
Lifetime value.
Yeah, which is the biggest thing I'm looking at as a business owner, because I'm trying to get like the average member to stay for as long as possible, because then it will get the best results, but also it will leave more money in the business eventually.
Does your wife work there also?
Yeah, so me and my wife, we run the business together, and that's one of the reasons it works, I think, because my wife is responsible of the marketing and sales, and I'm responsible of the professional logistics side, and each of one of us have our own like managers we control, let's say.
So you're not on top of each other. You're not like
exactly. Yeah.
Could you go a whole day working without seeing her until you get home?
Seeing her, maybe we're probably gonna see each other, but we're working on totally different stuff. We will probably, she's here today, but we didn't talk even for 1 second today.
And do you drive to work, or do you are you close enough to walk or ride your bike?
Drive. Most of the days I drive, but like it's a 5-minute drive, and once a week I drive to Tel Aviv, to the big location in White City, which is, let's say, 1 hour drive.
Wow. And what about the open? Is Israel a big open country? Do you guys do the open there?
So we try to promote it as much as possible. It's a little bit more difficult because Israelis, obviously there is the language barrier a little bit, and the average member in the affiliates doesn't know who, let's say, Tia Claire Toomey or like Fraser is. But we try to promote it as much as possible, because we understand that if a member signs up for the open, it stops being like a place to burn calories, and it's like a way of life, and it's lifestyle, and it's hobby. So we try to promote it as much as possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You think because it becomes kind of sort of a formal competition, that it cements them more into like a lifestyle. That's really well. Hey, go ahead.
Yeah, because in my understanding, most of the people that come to us, they come at first to maybe lose a few pounds, maybe to burn some calories, but our goal is to make it like a big part of their life. And if they watch the CrossFit games, if they know which are the CrossFit games athletes, like they become a fan of the sport, it stops being a thing that if they have like a busy month, they will stop working out,
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because this is probably the first year like I actually think I'm gonna. I've signed up for the open a handful of times, but I never follow through. I do like 1 or 2 workouts, or don't submit my scores, or don't make it to the end. But this time, I have been taking it more seriously. So I am like, I'm eating smarter. I'm not missing days of training. You know what I mean? I'm like committed to it.
Are you working out in affiliate or alone?
Just alone. Well, yeah, just alone. Just alone. I mean, I've been with a lot of people in different places. I've been traveling a lot, but you know, I don't. Not that I ever miss days of working out, but now like I'm doing things I didn't normally do. Like years ago I stopped doing snatching and squat cleans, and now I'm like, okay, you better do all that shit again. You know what I mean? I stopped kipping pull-ups years ago. Now I'm working on my kip again. You know, I stopped. You know, I stopped rowing years ago. Now I got off the assault bike and I'm rowing. You know what I mean? Because like you said, I'm taking it more seriously. I'm incorporating it more like.
But you're not going to an affiliate because you don't have one close by to your home, or just
No, I have tons of them. It's time. It's completely time allocation.
I'm just saying that because
I could work it in if I really wanted to. I could work it in.
Because for me personally, after years that I was competing in CrossFit and working out mostly alone, like I was doing like a personalized program and everything, today I'm doing only the group workouts with our athletes, because there's something about the group like atmosphere that keeps you motivated, you know.
So I was in Arizona with probably like a half dozen people for a week who were all CrossFitters, and I worked out with them every day, and I got more fit in those 6 days than my previous 2 years. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. And they were doing the programming, and I just jumped in, and yeah, you're totally right. Yeah. Jonathan Ortega says, Sevon doesn't want to support affiliates. Just say it, Sev. Right. I'm here to just talk you out of affiliating. So you do this, and when you first became an affiliate owner, did you think you would be as successful as you are now?
Actually, no, because when I started, I had no, like, let's say, inspiration of someone that made a really good business out of it. Mm-hmm. So when I opened my first affiliate, it was, I can say, even like by accident. Like I didn't plan to. Like there was an opportunity. Okay, I said, okay, let's try. But I didn't know that you can build like a really good, successful business out of it. Because I think even today, probably in the US, it's the same. Many affiliates, like I don't know, they're just getting by, you know.
Yes.
They're barely making it.
Yes.
And for some reason, that's the norm.
Yes. It feels like it's a young man's game. It feels like you're 18 years old, you find CrossFit, you're 22, you open your first gym, and by 30, you're like, oh shit, I'm never going to be able to buy a house or raise kids. I better get a different job.
And I think one of the biggest reasons for that is, as let's say 22-year-old, when you open up the affiliate, you have zero understanding in business, how to run a business.
Zero care either.
I think the care they have. Okay. I think they want to be successful, but they don't have the knowledge. You know.
Okay.
And when you don't have the knowledge, you don't even know what you're doing wrong. And because I think everyone that opens their business, they want to be successful and make money, but after a while it doesn't work out. They lose the motivation, and then just I don't know, accept that is the reality.
Did you have a moment or some path? Was there ever like okay, I'm either need to do something different? And do you know what the catalyst for that was, or what the first thing was that you changed?
I think. Yeah, are you asking after I've opened up the affiliate or before?
Yeah, like you open up the affiliate, you're excited, you're moving along, and one day you're like, man, I don't know if this is sustainable.
So the first 2 years were terrible, like a nightmare. Like, because again, I was this young 24-year-old that knows nothing about business. I was trying to give the best coaches, the best coaching I could, and I was clean. I was doing the sales. I was doing the everything. But I had no knowledge how to make it bigger, how to bring in leads, how to get more people to know. But I think for me, it was after I got married to my wife. She brought like another like aspect of the business. So she started doing the sales, and the marketing, and suddenly there was another person that was holding me accountable. If we were not growing 1 month, okay, she was coming and giving me, okay, we need to do something different, and in the opposite. So we were giving like the good like accountability to each other.
I'm going to read into that a little bit. So you're basically saying having a woman in your life that you wanted to provide for became your muse and your inspiration to take it to the next level.
Basically, yeah. And when I was understanding that I wanted to like have kids,
yeah,
okay, something needs to change, because I need to provide for them.
Right.
And if I want them to have the life I would want to have as a kid, I would want them to have the most, let's say, possibilities and chances they can get. This is my job now, to provide that.
It's great. Yeah, you were motivated. You had a different goal.
Yeah,
that's crazy. Women are great like that. It's absolutely amazing. And anything tangible that you did that you can think of that you did that someone else who's like in your situation could take that first step?
Okay, I think looking for help and paying for it. I think many affiliate owners think they know everything sometimes, or they're not willing to go and pay for, I don't know, some, let's say, I don't know if call it a mentor, but someone that knows business and they can show them the way and teach them. So for me, when we paid for a business consulting, let's say, we learned a lot.
That's what you did? That's what you did?
Yeah.
Was it a gym consulting company, or was it just a business in general? Was it a local?
The first one, just business, but we did many of them, every time different ones. Sometimes it was more related to marketing, some it was more related to business in general, some was more about sales, because I think you have to be in a constant state of learning, because as much as the more I learn, I understand how much I need to, I don't know yet, And
Go ahead.
Yeah, because there's this syndrome of when you don't know anything, you think you know everything,
right?
And you start learning, you understand how much there is more to learn.
I like your answer. So you go to your first mentor. Whose idea was that? How did you pick the mentor? And was there anything specifically you can think of that just like some ridiculous things you were like, holy shit, like just turn off the heater every night? I never even thought of that. That saved me $10.
Actually, that's an interesting story, because the CRM company, okay, let's say like Wodify in the US, okay, there is a company in Israel called Arbox, which is the biggest CRM company where most of the
What's CRM stand for, David? CRM.
CRM. Well, I don't remember, but it's the program you use to manage the members.
Okay.
So they send like an email and saying, guys, we're gonna invite all of our clients, like members, clients, for a lecture about business. If you want, you can come. And in that day, I think this company had maybe around 1,000 clients. I came that morning. I think 7 business owners showed up. 7 out of 1,000.
And it's free.
It's free. There was a very, very good lecture about business, about marketing, and wow. I heard so many things I never heard before, and like I was shocked. Like, there is so much more to do in the business. And after that, I reached out to that guy that was giving the lecture, and I went to a meeting, and from there it went on.
You weren't so they tell you all these things you have to do. You weren't intimidated by it. You weren't like you were inspired by it.
Like it is intimidating, because you need to do changes that are difficult as a business owner. Okay, let's say changing the rates of the members, and doing a lot of stuff that is outside of your comfort zone, for sure. But my motivation was way bigger than the fear of the change.
Yeah. You think just the leap of, let's say you had a gym. I mean, this is just bullshit, but let's say you had a gym where you just had a can there, and every time someone came in, you put $10, and it was on the honor system. For just to change that and be like, hey, and have someone greet them and make sure they pay, for some people would be terrifying.
Of course, exactly.
Yeah, crazy. Do you think the most difficult times are behind you?
I want to say yes. I want to say yes, but like few years, 5 years ago, there was the COVID. 2 years, like a year and a half ago, there was the war. So in Israel, you can never say, But I want to say yes, because today, like, let's say the business wise and the income wise, we're good. But in Israel, like, you can never know.
I'm trying to think how to. I'm so biased. It's going to be very difficult for me to ask you this question without a premise that you may not agree with, and I apologize.
Okay.
How did the people of Israel get duped so easily about COVID? I mean, you guys had a massive. My country got duped, but I mean, I know it's a big country, so there's places to hide. You know what I mean? Like you can hide under a rock.
Yeah.
Your country just jumped right in. You guys were like 90%. I mean, everyone except like the trippy Jews took the shot, right?
Most did, yeah. Okay, I'll tell you what.
And do they know now? Do the people that, let me ask you this real quick too. Do they know now? Is it swinging? Are people like, oh shit, maybe I shouldn't have done that?
I think there's some are thinking that.
Okay.
I'll tell you honestly.
Yeah.
I did the vaccinations as well.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the right thing, because okay,
Right.
I'll tell you what. Both of my parents are doctors.
Oh,
Okay.
right. Okay. Yeah. And all my friends who are doctors, yeah, and they're still like, fuck, we did the right thing, right?
So when I ask people I trust,
Yeah.
which are also doctors, what do you think? Is this the right thing to do?
Right.
And they say 100% yes. I trust them,
Right. I mean, they gave birth to you. They've loved you more than anyone who's ever walked the planet. Why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's probably what happened here too. The doctors told us all to do it, but now some weird shit's going on in my country for sure. There's some weird shit. Which vaccine did you guys take there?
Pfizer.
Okay. And so here's what's different with Trump. I couldn't have said this 2 years ago because we followed WHO guidelines. And so I could be totally wrong, and I'm open to being totally wrong. Someone's like, hey, fuck you, Sevon. The PSYOP was actually on you. The vaccine was great. And you're dead. I would actually kind of be happy. It would make things a lot easier for me. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, okay.
I'll tell you what. I am.
And it's a really smart country, and smart people usually get it is a smart country, right? Like that's the way in the West we perceive that it's a.
It is. You
guys are smart people, and that there's like you guys have like nice cars and nice trains and clean roads, and like your computers work good, and like we always think of Israel as like a smooth run operation.
It is. Yeah, for sure.
And so when your people tell you, it's easier to buy it. But our shit's not so smooth run, so that's why it's kind of like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's tough for me to say, up until to this day, I don't know what the right thing was to do.
Okay. Well, it's amazing the power of words, right? Because how are you on time? Are you okay on time?
Yeah.
It's amazing the power of words because, like you said, Trump said the unspeakable. Hey, let's just clear Gaza out. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, one guy said it. So that's kind of what's happening in this country too. We have a guy who, RFK Jr., and we have another guy named Elon Musk who, he transitioned one of his kids and he really regrets it. He gave drugs to his kid and permanently sterilized his kid, listening to doctors.
Elon Musk?
Yeah, that's why. That's the way he has 10 kids, and one of his kids he transitioned to the opposite sex because the doctors told him, and he's like, "What the fuck did I do?"
Wow.
Yeah, he fucked one of his kids. So he's got like, I think he has a handshake with he had one, with God saying, okay, it's now my mission to make sure that kids don't get hurt. But we have this guy RFK who is getting into a leadership position, who's going to say, hey, why don't we do studies that show what happens if you take 2 vaccines together? Because we've never done that in the United States. They've only tested them one at a time, but yet we give them to our kids in batches of 3s and 5s. And so that is like freaking a lot of people out, the fact that he would open Pandora's box, right? Because what if we find out, hey, you shouldn't have given these 2 together, it makes hair grow on your feet?
Wait, but do you think initially COVID was like a big conspiracy thing, or what do you think?
Honestly, I have no idea. Like if you gave me $1 million and you said, Sevan, what happened? I would think, hey, they were studying diseases somewhere in China and one of these fucking things escaped. That's what I would put my money on. I don't think it was like, and maybe the studies were like, hey, how can we design a gene just to kill Jews or just to kill Mexicans? Or it may have been that. Do you know what I mean? I think people are thinking of some crazy shit. How can we make viruses that just attack certain people, groups of people based on their genetics? Maybe it was that. But I don't think China was like, hey, let's release this shit. And then my second, but I'm not opposed to, we had a guy in our Obama administration who was head of, he was the chief technology officer for the United States, and he worked for Obama. And he had he had proposed putting something in our water. It's well documented, to sterilize our nation, to do population reduction. I mean, you can just go to his wiki page and see it. So when you see shit like that, you're just like, it shakes your reality. You're like, what did that guy just say about putting in our water? Do you know what I mean? There's some crazy, people took to our streets and said death to Jews after, like, on October 8th.
I know.
And there's 20 million of you, and there's 1.5 billion Muslims. They have 54 countries, and you have this fucking shitscape in the desert next to a bowl of water. And it's like, I don't get. My country's supposed to feel sorry for minorities, like these fucking poor people.
And they say we bully the Muslims,
Well, and I don't know if you know, but I don't know what it's like in Israel, but like there's this whole cohort of people in the United States that say that the Jews run the world. There's like 4 Jewish guys that run the world, and I'm always like, well, dude, someone runs the fucking world. Like,
okay, so it's actually it's interesting because historically, Jews in contemporary to, let's say, Christians were studying to the read and write from the day they were born, and the church were trying to like stop like Christians from studying how to write and read. So the Jews were smarter because they knew how to write and read. That's why they had the positions of economics and this kind of stuff. And it started like this wheel that the Jews were more educated than the others, like if you look historically. And then after that, they were trying to hate on the Jews because like we stole the money. We didn't steal the money. Jews were more educated from the beginning because of the religious, let's say, ideology.
There's a story. I don't know if it's true. I saw it on YouTube. I looked up the Rothschilds, and I looked about their history, and I'm trying to think of what city it is. I can't remember the name of the city. It's a famous city.
In Israel?
No, it's somewhere in Eastern Europe.
Okay.
And I'm looking. I looked up Rothschilds. It said they originated in Frankfurt. I don't think it was Frankfurt, but basically they lived in this city, and the city had a wall all around it. It's a famous city. And they told the Jews, hey, you're not allowed to live inside the city walls. So they kicked all the Jews outside the city walls. I want to say this is like in the late 1700s. And so the Jews were living, they were like living in the slums, like in the just shit homes, mud homes, just the poor people, the peasants around the outside. And inside the city walls, the government had a law that said that no one's allowed to lend money to anyone. Money lending was banned from that city. Well, you were allowed to lend money if you were outside the city walls. So the Jews, this Rothschild family who lived outside the city walls, who were just peasants, they started a bank. They started loaning money to like other peasants, and then people from inside the city came. Well, in one lifetime, this motherfucker started lending money to the King and Queen of England. In one lifetime. Because they kicked these, and this is how the Armenians operate too. It's the same thing that happened in World War II. They kicked these fucking Jews out of Poland, these poor Jews. They came to New York during the Industrial Revolution when the sewing machine was invented, and these people were slum seamstresses, and you know what I mean? Yeah. They saved all their little money, like the good little Jews they are, and they sent their kids to become doctors and lawyers. And it's like, what do you hate these people? Armenians are the same way. Everywhere they get kicked out of, the mom and dad save all their money and then send their kids to school. It's like, what do you?
I'll tell you what. I think.
Have you heard that story about the Rothschilds? That's how they got their origins.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was in Spain, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
Actually, Rothschild is one of the most known, let's say, street name in Israel. Like in every city, there is the biggest, one of the biggest streets is Rothschild.
Yeah.
But I think it's a human trait to hate on someone that is doing better than you. You know.
Yeah, that's why the Asians are smart. They keep their head down. They make on average twice as much money as white people in the United States, but they keep their head down. They're like, all right.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, go on. So in general, the people who are succeeding, people are trying to pull them down.
So if you look at it in a bigger scale, you can understand why people were starting to hate on the Jews, because they had more money, they were more educated, they had more food. So they started making like rumors that they're stealing the money or they're making these diseases and stuff like that, you know. And that's why in the end they kicked out all the Jews from Spain. And then the Jews got like scattered around the globe.
Yeah. Standy, the only thing I've learned this morning is he owns 6 affiliates and has 1,000 members. Yeah, he has 3,000 members. One gym in particular has 1,000. Standy, it's funny that sticks out with you. What sticks out with me is that you used to be a 32F and now you're a 32 double D. That you had your boobs reduced. And sometimes when I'm showering alone, I think about how nice it would have been before you got them reduced if you would have let me motorboat them. I really think that. I apologize. But we're just being honest. We're just being honest. Yeah. Do you ever watch this show, David?
Okay, so I used to, and then I'm going to be completely honest. I didn't watch it for a while, and then when we booked the episode yesterday, I went on to see an episode just to get the vibe and get ready.
Yeah.
And the first 5 minutes I see, you're talking about which is the right way to wipe. Back to forth or to back.
Yeah. That was very, I'm telling you, that was a very, I'd been thinking about telling that story for months. I was very uncomfortable.
So I was thinking, what the fuck is going
on? Do you get complaints about the quality of your toilet paper in your affiliate?
Toilet paper, no, but everything else, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So the toilet paper, was that something? Did you buy the cheap toilet paper, or no? That would be a problem.
No.
Buy the good toilet paper.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it crazy? Think about truly. There's people. I mean, the people come to your gym to work out, but there's people who their bowel movement circles around your facility. I mean, that's how important a bathroom is. Because who doesn't like to drop a deuce before they work out? Right? I mean, it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna have a good workout. I'm not angry. Maybe a little defensive. I'm not angry. I'm not angry. All right. Hey, this question actually is personal. Do you have an escape plan? I've known people who live in South Africa, and part of living there is having an escape plan. Like, hey, how am I, like, when shit hits the fan, what am I going to do to get out of here? Do you have an escape plan?
Not really.
No.
I'm very patriotic. Like, I want to be part of Israel. Like, I won't leave because it's getting tougher. Because I think we're supposed to stay here to protect our land, protect our people. Yeah.
But in all in are you okay with all the boys having to go to the military? Is that part of as part of your country's
It's a tough question because I think like if you look culturally, I think it's right. But the problem is that on one end, it's mandatory to do the military as well, but on the other hand, like a lot of people are getting out of it roughly easily, and also there are big communities like the Israeli Arabs or like the ultra Orthodox Jews in Israel that are not doing the military. So I think it's better to have like a more professionalized army, and the soldiers will be paid better, but also will do it's going to be more like their job and not like a mandatory thing that they could go by like doing the bare minimum, you know.
can you make it your job? Like in our country, you can sign up for 4 years, but then you could stay in and make it your career, I think.
So for men, it's mandatory to do 3 years, but many sign for more and they go to be, let's say, an officer, and then it's more like a job and not like a mandatory thing that you get like a minimum wage and everything. Yeah.
When your leaders in the United States now, right?
Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he is.
And when he comes to the United States, does that make big news there? And are people excited when he comes, or they don't like him? What do they like? Does your country like Trump in general?
Yeah, most really like Trump. Mostly the people on the right side of the political map. But yeah, I'll say 70 to 80% love Trump in Israel. Yeah.
What is the people who don't like, who live in Israel, the Jews who don't like what's going on there? What is their solution?
You're talking about the people that on the left side, let's say.
Yeah, like to me, it seems like there's no option but to clear out Gaza. I don't care, like by any means necessary. Like just basically build a wall and start moving it in one direction and push them against Egypt until Egypt lets them in, and then just throw food and water over until they leave. Like there's no option. Like, hey, sorry, we just can't have you here. We can't live like this anymore. Like even if you have to pay them $1 million each, even if they like start a GoFundMe and make everyone rich and be like, dude, beat it, because you can't live like that anymore. But what's a solution like the other side wants?
I think the more liberal Israelis, let's say,
yeah,
think that if you'll give the Palestinians more money, more land, more opportunities, they're gonna live a better life. They will be less, let's say, angry or depressed, and they will stop wanting to kill us. Because they look at it like you and me, like if we will get more opportunities to live a better life, we're gonna use it.
Right.
But their ideology, especially for the leaders of the Palestinians, are that they want to have all the land of Israel, and they won't stop until we're all going to be like killed.
And that is part of their thing, right? That is part. Those countries, like Iran's doctrine is like, hey, wipe the Jews off the map.
Like formally, yes, they say it out loud formally, yeah.
And so my understanding was that there were 2 million Gazans, and I'm just making this up. Let's say 1 million of them were working. But of those million that were working, 30% of them were working in Israel every single day. 300,000 of them were coming back and forth across the border. So their shit got all fucked up. Those guys were probably happy, and their shit got all.
Of course, yeah, for sure, yeah. Because
did you have Palestinians working at your gym, or like at your coffee shop near your gym? Like if you went out like to the store, would you see them, like people who came back and forth across from Gaza every day?
Like I won't call them the Palestinians. but if you walk in Israel, like there are a lot of Israelis working, and like everything is normal. Like there is no problem, you know. Like a lot of
Where
like
would you go and see the Palestinians in the grocery store? Like, where would you go?
like I tell you what, Palestinians, as you call them, are usually
Gaza, like I'm talking about people who live. Sorry, Gazans. Like people who lived in Gaza. Would you see them every day? Like if you live in San
no,
Diego, no, you don't. No.
no. because today probably zero,
Mhm.
but before the war, maybe little bit like closer to the borders. They
Mm.
would work in agriculture and stuff like that, or in the things like in the factories, this kind of stuff. But in Israel, you see a lot of Arabs, and everything is okay. There are a lot of Arabs, doctors, and everything. Like everything is normal. Because a lot of like people in Europe and America say that Israel is an apartheid state. It's so funny because like Arabs get exactly the same rights and opportunities as me in Israel, even
Right.
more some, even more sometimes, because Arabs in Israel are considered like a minority.
Yeah.
So, for instance, as an Arab Israeli, it's easier to get into law school or medicine school in Israel than it is for me as a Jew.
Yeah, we have that same shit. We had that in the United States too. Hopefully it's going away. My whole 50 years, I've lived in a racist country under the guise of it being nice, being nice. It's a weird thing to wake up to and realize.
Yeah, yeah. So there is a fight to change that, but it's very difficult in Israel because the Supreme Court in Israel is is so strong.
Mhm.
It's very difficult to make like a big change, because
It-
the Supreme Court in Israel is very liberal.
oh.
Yeah,
Well, we have this crazy thing going on in the United States. Basically, every branch of our government has turned conservative. We have, our Congress, our Senate, our president, our court. But the problem is that we have like 3 million employees in the government who are just completely liberal idiots. Like only since President Trump has taken office, they've released this stat that only 6% of our federal employees go to work, and they're mostly the janitors and the security guards guarding the empty buildings. It's absolutely batshit crazy what we're learning about our country.
well,
Yeah,
no.
and yeah, it's crazy. It's but it feels like it's going away. It feels like the crazy shit's going away. Like, it feels like it.
But wait, but the more liberal people in the U.S., when they see the things that Trump is doing, like what? They're worried. What do you think? What do you think?
Yeah, they say crazy shit like they say that uh getting rid of people who came into this country illegally is racist, or making it so. I mean, you see it in the CrossFit community. If you're a man pretending to be a woman, you still have to compete in the CrossFit Games as a man.
Well,
And people, if you can just go and see, there's affiliates saying that CrossFit's not letting those people compete, and it's a complete fucking lie. Of course you can compete. You just can't compete against the women. You have to compete with the sex you're born. And for some reason they think that that's against them. And no, it's to protect the women so that the women have a fair play. But here's what's even crazier. We live in a country where you could start your own thing and do that. You've seen Strong Women, right? That
yeah.
Strong Women competition. Those are basically all transgender in my mind. It's just women who've taken more testosterone than I have. They have their own event. Like, we're a free country. You can still do it. But that's the thing. That's the thing that the people on the left don't realize. The right is so tolerant, and you're pushing them too far with your intolerance to the fact to where they're becoming intolerant of your intolerance. It's you know what I mean? It's like, dude, come on now. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, they
What do you
they
think?
they were letting
What do you
men in
think?
women's bathrooms at high schools, and girls were getting raped. And instead of taking those kids away, they would move them to different schools, and those boys would do the same things. It's like, really? You're letting boys into women's bathrooms? Do you not understand what boys are about? You cannot leave boys alone with girls, and even the best boys, let alone these confused ones. Sorry, what were you going to say? What do I think about what?
No, I wanted to ask about what do you think about the future of CrossFit in the US? What's going on with that?
It's just cyclical. Basically, what happened was, is in a nutshell, basically when CrossFit started, there was no social media, and so when social media started, CrossFit had the biggest voice in the space. Then what's happened is all the athletes have gotten their own voices, and they got deeply confused. They think that CrossFit is a sport, and it's not a sport. It's a fitness methodology, and the CrossFit Games is a place where you go celebrate the highest achievements of people who practice this methodology, this nutrition program, these movement patterns, and that's all it is a celebration. And they got confused, but because of social media, they have this delusional perception of themselves and the volume of their voice, and so they actually trick some people. Like, none of us got into it for the sport. All of us got into it just to be buff or movement patterns, and then as we get older, we're like, okay, it can help our parents get off of drugs, and like, we see what it is. But we have this crazy fucking delusional, no accountability, no personal responsibility group that's like got a voice now, and we're just culling the herd. We're about to, like, this whole generation of athletes is about to, like, they're fucking themselves. They're going to go down in history as the dipshits, right? And you know, we had the greatest swimmer maybe in the history of our fucking sport drown, and they want to fucking blame the sport. And it's like it didn't bring us together, it divided us. But it's such a small cohort, so I think it's just going through just a giant culling of the herd, you know, and then it will just it's just a phase. I mean, 10,000 gyms in 140 countries, and like you said, most of your practitioners have no idea who Matt Fraser or Tia Toomey is, but
yeah.
So it's just a you know, there was a point where Starbucks shut down 30% of its stores, and no one ever, you know what I mean, and no one thinks Starbucks is going anywhere. So I think it's just a and then hopefully we really do need some strong leadership. I mean, don't tell anyone this. They need to just give the company to Dave to run, so he can run it like Dana White and just be like, "Fuck you, you're out. You're in." I mean, you know what I mean? That's how the UFC runs, and we're all type A people. We just need someone. We just want marching orders. I don't care what, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I think that's where we're.
Yeah.
And if they don't do that, it'll continue to be a good space for me in the media to talk shit about people. I mean, it's fun for me because it's just like, the chaos makes great media. That's my. What do you think? What do you think from where you sit? What do you think is going to happen to it?
It's tough. It's tough to say, because I think that the methodology is so genius and it revolutionized the fitness world. But I think the leadership in the last few years is not as good as it's supposed to be. To be like not as aggressive as you. I'm being very, very, very polite, let's say.
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, Craig was very aggressive, and it flourished under that. Very focused on what the mission was.
Yeah, and I think the media and the marketing needs to be like 100%, like 1,000% better. Like, I think that at the time that you were, like, let's say, running the media, this was the strongest thing that we were getting as an affiliate, and I think that is lacking today. But I agree with you. I think it's a phase. I think CrossFit will stay in the long term. We will get even stronger. But I hope that the change we're talking about is going to happen for sure.
Recently, yesterday, when Greg sold the company, I was running the media department, and within 2 months they fired me, and they put a guy who worked for me who had no leadership skills. He was the least social person on my entire team. He was 2 levels below me. They put him in charge, and then they put a woman in charge. So it was this black guy and this woman, and she was an intern. And I believe that they were put in those positions. I believe he was put in that position because of his skin color, and the other girl was put in that position because of her vagina. I believe that. And yesterday he released on his LinkedIn account that he got $10 million. He ran a $10 million a year budget to do CrossFit media after I left. And he ran it for 3 years. He was recently fired by the new lady. A new lady came in and fired him right away.
Wait, and you had a bigger budget or no?
I had a budget half that size.
Wow.
Yeah. So just think about it. With a $10 million budget, if you could pay someone $5,000 to make a video, and you would have 2,000 videos a year.
Wow.
That's 7 videos a day.
Wow.
High quality. And they didn't even put out 7 videos a year. I mean, it was
wait, but where did the money go?
Marketing. It went to marketing. We didn't do marketing when I worked at CrossFit. We just made stuff. Because that's the way the internet works. You know what I mean? You have to make it so when you type in push-up and you're in Israel, your gym comes up. And you do that with the largest search engine in the world, which is YouTube. I mean, anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Okay. So just a quick story. In CrossFit Israel, because basically we have no, let's say, videos to use, also because the language barrier, and also because the media that doesn't do basically any work. So we ask 100 shekels, which is, let's say, $25 from each affiliate. We have 75 affiliates in Israel. So we have a budget of around, let's say, 1,500 a month. And we make 3 to 4 videos every month with that budget to make like a better media and marketing for the entire CrossFit space in Israel.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to understand, with $10 million, the thing that you can do.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah. Hey, when I worked at CrossFit, we had something called the CrossFit Journal, and it made $2 million a year, and we gave away 95% of the content on the journal for free.
Wow.
So basically, you most of the time you were on there, you didn't even have to pay, and occasionally you would come across a video and it would say, to see this you have to pay, but you would be hard pressed to find it. Yeah, the new people haven't even put that back up. Unfortunately, that was taken down. I don't know why. I wish Greg would have never taken it down. I think he didn't think that it was true to the message anymore, because he didn't like all the game stuff and the fun stuff that was on there, and so he wanted to kind of like revamp it. But yeah, 10 million a year in media is in. I mean, look at Andrew Hiller has no budget, and he's completely taken over the space. Wow. From his garage with his shirt off.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but I know, but do you think that there is like a future that someone like you or someone capable will run it again?
I honestly have no idea. I have no idea. For a while, I thought maybe Greg was going to get back in the space. Now I'm pretty sure he's not going to get back in the space. I don't think he has any interest in it. I think he's really focused on his kids. I spend a lot of time with him, and he's just focused on homeschooling his kids. He has some real estate endeavors. He's got more money than God, and I think he's really happy, and he's in a good place. And so basically, and since private equity owns CrossFit now, you know, I don't know if they're willing to go through the growing pains, or if they're just going to keep it in the state where it's just kind of limping along. But I mean, you know as well as I do that the people who own it have no idea what it is. Like, they think they bought F45 or McDonald's or something. Exactly. And they didn't. They bought this. We're renegades and revolutionary people, and we want, like, we're the cutting edge people. Like, we know that, hey, stop eating sugar, eat right, and exercise, and that we're already so far out ahead of everyone else, and we need. I don't know if there's a leader who's gonna. I don't think that there's someone in private equity who can get their head wrapped around that.
Yeah, it's very true, because before you can get the word,
the Jews will take it over. Maybe the Jews will take it over.
I'm ready.
You already? Do you think you could lead the company, David? Right?
I think
you. No one's listening. No one's listening. Between me and you.
Okay, I think you need someone that knows the American culture a little bit better.
Yeah.
And actually, I think David McAfee, which was the international manager, I think can be an amazing CEO of CrossFit. To be honest,
You mean Daniel Chaffee?
yeah, Daniel Chaffee, sorry.
Yep, that's good.
I think it can be an amazing CEO of the company. To be honest,
Mm.
I think he's very very capable. Believes in the methodology as the charisma, as the knowledge, as the business side aspect of the understanding of things. So if he will get the position, I think CrossFit will skyrocket.
I think you said something really important, that CrossFit is an American company, and it's okay that it's an American company, just like Ferrari's an Italian company. It's okay. You don't have to like. It's okay to be an American company. It's okay to have American values. It's okay. You don't have to like do hero wads for all the other countries. It's okay. It's okay to have a California country. It's okay to have an Israeli company. You don't have to, and they can have those. You stated it very well. We need someone who really understands that it's an American company, that it's a liberate, and that that it has an ideology. It's not a we're not making hamburgers for everyone.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, anyone can eat them, but they're not for everyone. Like, this is some hard shit for people who want to take personal accountability, personal responsibility, and want to take control of their lives. And it's okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Yeah, like Gucci. No one wants to buy a Gucci bag. People like it because it's Italian or whatever the fuck it is. No one's asking them to embrace the Afghanis, right?
Yeah.
Do the what do you think? Let's talk about a conspiracy real quick. What do you think about, like, they say the Mossad? That's your CIA, right?
Mossad is like CIA. Yeah.
They say that you guys basically like control like P. Diddy and Epstein, and like you guys have infiltrated everywhere, and you guys have videos of like, you know, like Barack Obama and Trump having sex, and so they have to do whatever you guys say. Does that type of shit like permeate your culture?
No. I think that's too much. I think Mossad is some amazing stuff. I don't know if you heard about the BIRTHFIT like operation.
Oh, genius! I read so much about that. That was incredible.
Yeah. So stuff like that, Mossad, I think, is the best in the world. But the stuff you said, I think that
But how about, let's just talk about the P. Diddy thing. You don't think they control the P. Diddy thing? They control?
I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you know, like, you can just go on the internet and they'll be like, well, Giselle Maxwell's, that was the right hand woman to Epstein. Her dad was a Mossad agent, and just shit like that. And then you're like, wow, maybe Israel is running the world, which I'm okay with. I like, okay, fine, okay, good.
Yeah.
Just make sure you run the shit good.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for coming on.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
You're always welcome. Dave's like, hey, why are you hating on the Jews? I'm like, what do you mean hating on the Jews? He's like, well, they say you won't have them on. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'll do all the affiliates in Israel. I love a Jew. I'm married a Jew.
First of all, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
And after years, I was watching your stuff and everything, the behind the scenes and everything. It's an honor to be here. I think Tomer, the affiliate owner, I told you on the WhatsApp, I think he would be an amazing host. He will have an amazing stories because he's an officer in the IDF as well.
Okay.
And he was in Gaza in the war for a long time, and he can show a bit of a different perspective. So maybe let's try to do the contact.
Okay. Is he on our WhatsApp thread?
No, I'm gonna put him on.
Okay. I really appreciate it. Hey, dude, and you're always welcome. If you ever just want to come on and shoot the shit, or you have an idea or anything, you're always welcome on the show. Just reach out to me. You can't bug me. WhatsApp me, send me, pictures of hot girls on the beach, whatever you want. Even hot boys. I'm gonna do it all.
All right, cool. Thanks.
All right,
man.
brother.
Thanks, Evan.
Thank you, David, and thank you for everything you do in the community. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, cheers, brother. Now back to my other white friend.
Hi.
That guy's cool as shit.
Yeah, he is. It's legit.
Yeah. I hope he drives like a Ferrari or something.
I think he drives a Tesla.
Jews don't play gay. Dude,
Hey, that's fucked up.
every Israeli guy that I've ever known is beyond macho.
Really?
Oh my god, dude. The fucking big old barrel chest, shirt opened up, hair, fucking little Star of David necklace. You know what I mean?
Looks like man.
Yeah. Chin's always a little high. It's not it's like, a normal person walks around, parallel to the ground. Fucking beat down fentanyl addict walks around like this looking for money. But Jews walk around like this. A little high.
You think he put his computer that high so he had to do that?
A little, yeah. They put their computers high. They always hang out a little above fucking parallel.
Interesting.
Mr. Chapman, we've met very different Israeli men. Yeah, they only let gay ones into your country. They kicked them out and sent them to the Isle of Man. You can butt fuck them.
Yikes.
All the ones I met were in college. Wow, David, 7 out of 10. All right. Standy, let me tell you some of the things we learned in this show. We learned what did we learn? There's 75 affiliates in Israel.
That's a fuckload.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, 3 out of 10. Jesus Christ. Why? Because I said I wanted to motorboat your Fs.
I'd still motorboat them now, Standy, just so you know.
Yeah. But Caleb, you have a wife. Don't ruin our show.
Oh God. I got a lot of that last time, just when it was Sousa and I.
I heard Sousa told me.
It's fucked up, man.
Oh, what is this? Looks like I have some intel coming in. What is this? Are you on another snow day?
No, training Tuesday. Got a lot of training to catch up on.
Oh.
I actually need to get my car licensed because I've been driving without plates for the past 7 months.
Have you been pulled over?
Nope, not once. I also drive at like the worst hours of the day, like 4:30 in the morning, and the most traffic rush hour times of the evenings. So it's fine.
Wait, say that again. What happened at 4 in the morning?
No, I'm usually driving at that time.
To go to your school?
Yeah. So there's like nobody's getting pulled over at that time unless you're just driving extremely fast.
I should have asked this question. That would have been a great question. How much do Israeli affiliates charge?
Oh yeah.
That made
100 shekels. When he said shekels, I thought he was joking.
That made Handy Standy happy.
Is Israeli money literally called schmeckles?
Who?
What? He said schmeckles, didn't he?
Oh, I don't know.
He's like
1 out of 10 words he said I didn't understand.
Oh, okay. Because he said that he pools like 100 schmeckles per gym together, and they run media. Like that's what they spend their
shekels.
Yeah. Okay, shekels. Got it. Thank you, Neve. Shekels. Hey, Harvest.
What's
my day job is whatever you want it to be, dude. Sometimes I have one and sometimes I don't.
What's the money called in Israel? Holy shit, it is raining so hard here.
Really? It's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's the shekel.
A shekel. Okay.
NIS or ILS is the more commonly known as the shekel.
Shekels.
I wonder what the how many $100 US dollars in a shekel? $100 is 357 shekels.
Yeah, I think you said like 100 shekels is like $25.
Yeah, that makes sense. They should just use the American dollar over there.
I can't believe they have their own language still.
Oh, that's another thing I meant to ask him. It sounds like some people there don't speak English.
That's weird.
Oh, that's funny. There's supposed to be an atmospheric river hitting California this week. That's so funny because Greg said, "Hey, come to my house to avoid the atmospheric river."
That's very specific.
I thought he was being poetic.
That's
Like,
what I would have thought
made
too.
that
It's like,
shit
there's an atmospheric river coming your way. Would you like to avoid it? What?
My sister sent me a text this morning. Says, "Good morning." Oh, she says Nicodemus was born again. Book of John, chapter 3. Have a great early show this morning. I'm looking forward to it. Book of John, chapter 3. Have you seen The Chosen?
No.
I need to speak to someone about what the conversation Nicodemus and Jesus has. I sense
This
some.
one? Jesus teaches Nicodemus.
You already found it? Damn, you were quick. It's kind of weird in the oh yeah, he was part of the ruling council. I wonder if he motorboated Standy. Oh, here it is. No, there it is. A very truly I tell you, no one can see the kingdom of God unless they are born again. Yeah, I'm in like Flynn. That's the part of that. I think that's why I don't connect with the believers.
Why? Because you're already in and they're not?
I'm born again and they're not. I think maybe a lot of people aren't born again. I don't meet too many people who are born again.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm fucked.
I know there's time. You might get in a car accident and see the light or something. You know what I mean? Get your hand cut off with a power tool to Shadikin.
Nearly blow myself up.
Yes. Yes.
That's very possible too.
Oh, you're born again too. That's crazy.
Wow.
Sean Leonard and Sevon doesn't know what that means either. You're right. I don't know what it means, but I lived it, motherfucker.
You don't even fucking know, dude.
Yeah, you don't. I died to my old self. Yeah, that's a great explanation of it.
Huh?
Yeah, you died to your old self. Then you realize that. Want me to try to explain it to you? I'll try to explain it to you.
Please.
So you're just cruising along and you think you're Caleb and all this shit and like, you know what I mean? And like you have a dog and a car and a girlfriend and you like your favorite color's red and you know how to do, you can do this, you can pat your head and rub your stomach at the same time. You have all these skills and you're good at like fucking Nintendo and you got to see on your report card and you know what I mean? And you know, you sometimes pee sitting down when you look at Instagram. Like you got this, you know what I mean? Your favorite food is popcorn, just whatever, just who you are, right?
Okay.
And then something happens to you and you see that that's not who you are. But you don't really know what you are anymore, but that thing is just like a toolbox of shit that you can use, but none of it's real. It's just all fucking made up and you're actually something else.
Okay.
And that shit's just a one giant narrative, but you see it in a fucking flash and it's scary because you think you're dead, but you come back to life. Because when you see that thing, you think you're like drifting away from it, but you really realize it's just a bunch. It's like realizing you're the electricity coming from the wall and not the computer. But your whole life you thought you were the computer. And like you can now just use all that shit as just like props. It's like it's not real.
Okay. So you think it's like an identity thing?
Yeah, it's just an identity.
You thought your identity was like if somebody thinks that their identity is their job and then they no longer have that job. Now it's like, what am I?
Yeah, it's like one of those, but for your whole fucking existence. And it's terrifying.
Fuck, I got some work to do.
Yeah, it's absolutely terrifying. Hey, and that book you're reading is what got me to that point.
Oh, the P.D. Ouspensky Man's Search for Meaning?
Yeah. And you kind of almost have to, I think the only way to do it is to completely embrace your own death. You have to be you have to just basically face your own death. I don't think that I've heard other people who've had reawakenings and every single one of them face their own death, but then they come back and say, well, you don't have to do it that way. And I'm like, I don't think there is another way. That's why the part about believing in Jesus and shit. I'm like, hey dude, that's not That's not going to get you to see what you need to see.
What do you mean by like facing your own death? Like you just like
Like just complete,
literally, or like you
Yes,
just like you just
yes.
relieve yourself of like
yes, both
everything.
those. Yes, one of them's literally that's the outside, and then the inside is like completely surrender to all the fucking nonsense and all the talk in your head, any story in your head, like where
Like if I create
nothing in your head could cause you, no thought or bodily sensation could cause you to react because you're so still in who you are. And then that creature will fucking dies. It panics. When you don't give it attention, it panics. And then it fucking
just fizzles out.
yeah, well you see the light, just like in the movies. I can't tell the story because I mean I've told the story before, I just can't tell it now. I can't get what's it called? Like people do it in church. I can't tell you my
Your origin story.
Yeah.
Hmm.
There's a word for it. What do people do? Like they go in front of their church and they tell there's a word for it. Someone will say it.
I don't know what that is. Testimony, homily.
Sevi, you got to troll the affiliate owner boycotting because of the trans rule. Here's the thing. Have you seen that Instagram clip?
No, I haven't. I've heard about them boycotting, but I haven't seen the clip about it.
So he's not boycotting. I don't think he's still. I feel so sorry for the dude. If you want me to be honest, and I was thinking about having him on the podcast and letting him just. I wonder if he would come on and just tell me. Basically, he says he has a trans kid. He seems like a cool enough dude, but he says that he doesn't want his kid to have to pretend. He feels sorry for trans people because for them to compete in the CrossFit Games, they have to pretend to be something that they're not.
Okay.
And that fucking kind of like got, that like to those of us on the other side, that doesn't make sense. We're like, wait a minute, second, you have a penis and you're already pretending to be a girl.
Right.
And so now you're saying, and so I was just like, so that's where we disagree. And like, if you see all the arguments in the thread with people, like their side doesn't make sense to me at all. It's completely illogical. It's like their argument is this: 2 + 2 is 4, but it's okay. Well, 2 + 2 is 5, and if you say it's 4, you're hurting these people's feelings and you're excluding them. And I get that, except I wouldn't say that. To me doesn't justify. I'm not hurting their feelings. They're getting their feelings hurt. Do you know what I mean? They don't want to take accountability and responsibility for their thoughts.
Right.
And so for some reason, they always dip into feelings. And I was just wondering if I could hear him out without arguing back with him. Like, I just want to understand where as soon as he said his kid's transgender, I'm just like, okay, so that's a big, like, obstacle to overcome, to see clearly. Like people will do irrational shit to protect their kids.
Yeah.
Like I would jump in front of a fucking car for one of my kids, which would be stupid because then I'd be dead for the other two. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the trolley problem.
What's that?
It's where you're manning a switch and there's a trolley coming and there's a fork in the rails, and one direction goes towards like a family of 4 and the other direction goes towards like the world's greatest scientist.
Oh shit.
Do you pull the lever and kill the world's greatest scientist, or do you let the one kill the family of 4 or something like that? I don't remember exactly what.
Yeah.
That's the gist.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I don't know, like, how far I want to go into the conversation with him. Like, what is a trans kid? Like, I have a feeling everything this guy is going to say to me is going to open up more doors. And, like, I'm not there to, if he comes on the show, I'm not there to win the argument. I'm just so curious. Will you pull up the video? I just don't
Where's it at?
understand. I completely don't. God, so many people have sent it to me in my Instagram.
Let me see if I can find it in our DMs.
But the part that's really weird is he says he doesn't want his kid to have to pretend. And yet in my mind, he's facilitated a whole lifestyle where his kid has to pretend. And I'm like, wow, this is some convoluted shit. Have him on, it will be a disaster. I don't know. I don't know. Do I hear the phone clicking? Oh no, what is that sound? Nope, I don't hear anything. So I don't know. Oh, testimony. My sister says that's a testimony. Yeah, I'm not ready to give my testimonial. But I feel like it's pretty obvious to people who have been born again to who hasn't been born again. And so it's just sort of weird to me sometimes when people preach to me about God, because I'm like, how does this fucker not know this other stuff? Sevon, so many testes. So Sevon has Moni testes. I don't know what that is. Like like I have ovaries. I think you could have him on and just ask questions that force him to think and see how it works. I don't think you have to do much talking, honestly. I know that's going to be hard for me, though, right?
Probably.
I have to be careful doors don't open. It's like when people start like telling me that Jesus exists and they start getting into historical shit. Like I don't even care about any of that stuff. Like I'm not interested in.
Oh.
I'm not interested in worldly Jesus at all. He said, Nicodemus says something. He says something else really cool to Nicodemus too. After that, about what faith is, and it's like, yeah, all these people who talk about worldly Jesus, I don't understand why they're interested in worldly Jesus.
Is this it?
I don't really give two shits about worldly Jesus. Yeah, okay, hold on. Let me take this call really quick. Maybe someone's gonna help me here. I think there was a call.
Can you hear me?
Hi, is this my wife?
No, this is Brianna.
Oh, hi,
Nice.
Brianna. I had kind of like the same issues with you about like religion and stuff. And some people in the comment, like Jake Chapman and Pat Lang, were like talking about having to believe in something or you're going to hell. And that's not a very like loving God, right? And I kind of had the same struggle as you. I converted to my religion. And so I was not religious growing up. I ended up reading the Bible all the way through, and I went to several different churches. There was a non-denominational Christian church that I had really liked, and that's the one I ended up going to for a while until we started talking more about who's saved. And I was going alone. My brother wasn't there. My parents weren't there. And they were all talking about how we're saved and all these people here who haven't accepted Jesus aren't saved. And it's kind of like you were saying you're irrational for your family. I was like, I don't want to go to heaven without my parents and my brother.
I do.
Like,
No, hold on. I'm fine. I'm fine going without him. I'll go by myself.
No, I was just like, I don't want, like, if that's the God that I'm worshiping, is God that's not saving my family, who are amazing people, then I don't want to worship him. And maybe that's wrong, but that's where I kind of stood, and I stopped going to church because that's not who I wanted to worship, and that's not what I wanted to believe.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to Utah for a family trip, and we watched this movie about Joseph Smith, and he talked about how that he was in the same situation. His brother had died, and a Presbyterian came to his house and said, "Your brother's going to hell because he was never baptized." And Joseph Smith said, "That cannot be. My brother is the greatest man I've ever met. He cannot go to hell just because he wasn't baptized." And he prayed and found a verse in James that said, if ye who lack wisdom should ask of God, who giveth unto all men liberally. That's what he did. He asked God, and that's the start of the Mormon religion. And they have the faith that you are only held accountable for what you know. So if you never know the true gospel, you're not held accountable for it. And so people that are born in the Middle East that will never know the gospel, they're only held accountable for what they know. If they're good people with what they know, then they're going to go to heaven just like me. But I have a different accountability since I know, if that makes sense. So that's the Mormon belief on salvation. And that's what I believe. So I was able to go to church with a good conscience, knowing, you know, my family's not here, but I'm going to be with them someday. They just don't know.
Yeah. I mean this. I don't mean this to be offensive at all.
No, it won't be.
Okay, that's such like worldly thinking. I don't even think like that. Like when people be like, "Well, what's going to happen when I go to heaven? I've had 3 wives when I'm on planet Earth. Is it going to be weird?" I'm like, "Wow, it's not like that for me at all." Like,
okay,
to even think like Hitler was a bad person, or that there's any bad people on planet Earth versus where you go when you transcend thought is like this is gonna be really fucked up. Those are all retards to me. Like that means they really cannot see what I see. Those are like spiritual infants. It's so think if heaven really does exist, how insignificant anything that happens here is.
Oh,
like
totally, I
like
agree.
you could drop a nuclear like doesn't matter. None of it matters. Like imagine just even like to use the religious people's thing. Imagine there's just this gas chamber filled with Jews, and like right above it, it's like people entering the kingdom of heaven, and they're like, "Oh my God, thank you, Adolf." You know what I mean?
No,
and it's like if that's
know,
really like none of it. It's Do you ever think of this? Let me ask you this, Bjorn. Do you ever think do you ever think what you would be like if you didn't have language? Like what if you never learned a language? How would you think?
Yeah, that's crazy to even think of.
Right? That's crazy to even think of. And just and so that means that if you can't, because people can't even think about what that would be like, that means they're trapped in this prison of their own words.
Yeah.
And so they're constantly looking for words to fucking help them be at peace with where they're at in the jail. I mean, it's we live with doorknobs. Truly, really not. And it's because people are afraid to go certain places in their head. You need a lot of space in your head. And that's why you have to face your own death, because then you get all the space in your head, and then you can get glimmers of what I would call the kingdom of heaven. Because you can only mirror worldly things when you have shit in your head. You know what I mean? You have a dirty mirror, and then when you clear out your head and your head is empty, then you can reflect the totality of our existence. That's a pretty crazy thing I just said, but
no, I agree. I mean, I think that I was first of all, I was super young when this happened. I was like 12 or 13 when I was exploring religion on my own without my parents. So you can imagine a 12-year-old, 13-year-old's frame of thought is just like, where do I go when I die? That was my only train of thought. And I didn't grow up with religion. So that's the only thing I thought about.
Hey, that's awesome. By the way, that's a really important thought. Where do I go when I die? You should let that thought drive you fucking crazy. It's a great thought.
And so it did, as I like explored churches. And then once I found the answer to that, then I had those deeper questions about, more things.
I think that's the mistake, by the way. That's the mistake. That's why people are interested in worldly Jesus. They're looking for proof. They're looking for proof. It's like, no, just like, dude, you don't need proof. Just, I mean, you'll get it in your own way if you keep asking that question and stay open to it. But people will fill it with just like, they found his bones in such and such, and there's 38,000 people who actually saw him raised, and they actually have the cross, and they did a carbon test, and I'm like, motherfuckers, like, really?
Well, it also feels like if God wanted us to have direct proof of his existence, he could easily give it to us. If that's what the point of this world was to just find direct proof, like, you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't be in some hidden way of finding a fossil, or I don't know, at least in my opinion.
Right.
But I also feel like what you said with the suffering, that was like a huge thing for me. I almost became like agnostic to a point. I don't know if you ever saw that quote that was written on the walls of Auschwitz that said, if there is a God, he will have to beg me for mercy. That's something that that's something I always think of, is the question of human suffering, of like, a lot of people are like, oh, Jesus had to die for our sins and all these different things. It's like, well, why?
Like, what if in heaven the worst existence you could live on earth is tantamount to a sliver on a human being?
Yeah.
Because the existence in heaven is so vast and profound. I mean, then at that point, like, what the fuck? And that's that I mean, that's why I just no, the thing is, here's the thing. This is going to really piss some people off. This is going to be blasphemy. No one's going to show you the kingdom of heaven but yourself. And the journey is fucking a near-death experience. And
well, you do not find the happy life, you make it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. But I do think that following the scripture of the Bible aligns perfectly with the things that come naturally to me, that keep me in my best state. Like, when I deviate from that path of following those rules, I mean, I think that, like, whoever wrote that shit, like was reborn.
Yeah,
and I mean,
that's why I
felt the rules.
When I was converting, I had a lot of friends and my family members, in fact, that were like, why would you sign up to follow all these rules? Like, why? Especially because I was becoming Mormon, so even more rules than the average Christian.
Yeah.
And I kind of felt like, one, I wanted to be living them. Like, I was like, well, they're just going to make my life better. Like, none of this is going to hold me back in any way by following it. And then second, I felt like if there is a God, even if I'm wrong about which one it is, I can't imagine he would be upset with this life I live if I follow all these rules. You know, I just felt like if I'm worshiping the wrong God, he still can't be upset with how I'm choosing to live my life if I do all this stuff. So I agree with that.
How old are you?
Well, I'm 23 now.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
How fun.
So I also am going on the Gluten Things podcast on Thursday.
Oh, cool. Let me ask you something. Do you play video games?
Not much, but I have occasionally.
Why do boys play video games and girls don't play video games? Do you think that's a fair, like, generalization?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just having this conversation, actually. When I went over to see Chiefs Guy, he made me play Call of Duty with him and his friends. I was like begging not to. And I was like, why do you do this? And he was playing in the playoffs that week. And he's like spending 3 hours playing Call of Duty. And he said it's just the only time. He said it's the only time I can hang out with my friends. And he also said that he felt like it. To him, he said the difference is when I was playing versus when he was playing. He's like, when I'm playing, I'm in the war. Like, this is serious to me. And I just didn't get it. And so I don't know. I don't know if it clicks with girls that way. I know some it does. But I also think girls just have other ways of bonding versus guys enjoy doing that. And I think it's general. Like, guys like to go fishing. Guys like to do activity. And if they're far away, that activity is video games. And girls like to just talk. And so dinner or shopping are better ways to spend time together.
All right. Thank you. I'm writing a thesis on why women should not be helicopter pilots, and I think that somehow it's tied to video games. I'm serious. All right. Thank you.
All righty. Well, have a good show.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, Brianna.
All right. Yeah, you don't think there's a connection there, Caleb? You think I'm like totally off path? Like, shouldn't's too harsh. It's very, very sexist of me. Too provocative. Not shouldn't, but that's why boys. I think boys are like, yeah, I'm gonna have 2 sticks in my hand and fly it around, and like, yeah, that's my natural state. Like, I'm good at that with my pedal. Yeah. And girls are like, I want to conquer the hell. I want to conquer that and be a helicopter pilot. Like, I think they think about flying the plane. Like, they're like, okay, I'm going down now. And in school, I learned push my right hand forward. And boys, it's not like that at all. We're just like, it's just natural.
Right.
We're not even thinking at all.
But yeah, I see.
Girls are like flip switch above head, click, click, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, maybe.
I think they think we don't think.
Yeah, it's much more instinctual. I think that's what the women that I've had in my classes or around during this course is they think a lot about what needs to happen for the test to be completed, basically, which is like disposing of ordnance or whatever it is. And men are just like, okay, I see the object and I get rid of it. Like that's like we just see, like in my head I'm like, okay, I don't care, I don't really game plan how I'm gonna do it, I just do it. I'm like, I have all the like make sure I have all the items that I need. I go out there, I set it up the way that I think it should work, and it's gonna work.
Yeah.
Like, and some people overthink it. I mean, some of the dudes overthink it too. And it's like, why would you not think that way? Why would you not think the same way that I do?
Right.
You know, it's like, why would the block needs to start at the C4 needs to start at this distance from this whatever. And they're like, well, it's measured from here. I'm like, yeah, no shit, it's measured from there. It's not measured from the middle. It's like, no, it's just weird shit like that. So I don't know. Maybe you're onto something.
Yeah. Those dudes are gay. Yeah, maybe.
Hey man, a lot of gay shit going on in the military, I'll tell you that.
What better place?
Shit gets real gay.
What better place? Men with dirty hands are greater than carpal tunnel video. Yeah, fine. Yep, I agree too. Nothing like getting a new saw from Home Depot and sawing a piece of wood. Oh, RFK vote passed. Wow. Oh my God. Game on, dude. Holy shit.
His position?
Confirmation, yeah. Hey, what about Jay Bhattacharya? Jay Bhattacharya. Does he have to go through confirmation as head of the NIH, or does RFK just appoint him?
I don't know how that works. No, Rambler, I'm not going to work underground in Montana. I don't know why I would do that.
Don't they? Isn't that where like NORAD is, or some?
That's Colorado.
Oh, can't believe I knew what that. What is NORAD? Can't believe I only know NORAD because I think from that movie War Games.
Yeah, that's what it's from. And then also they track Santa every year. So
I wish they wouldn't do stuff like that. I don't think that shit's cute.
Why not? Honestly, it's just a bunch of volunteers. They just like people's families go out there and answer the phones, and like then somebody like public affairs or something puts on like a tracking Santa every year. I did it every year for like ever.
You were a volunteer for that?
Yeah,
I
did that too. Because you have kids call in and they're like,
"Oh, you were one of the kids that called in."
No, I was, and then when I got older, we started doing it. Like we'd like answer the phones, and we have friends that still live there that will go and answer the phones, and kids will call in and be like, "Well, can you send this last minute letter to Santa?" Blah 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 blah, and then you're like, "Yeah, I'll send that letter to Santa." It's so cute.
Jesus. Tell your wife she's about to get pregnant.
It's really hard not to get her pregnant.
Should RFK be the CEO of CrossFit? Oh, sure, why not?
Fuck it. Fuck yeah, I lied, Ernie. Just like everybody lied to me. It's a perpetuation of the lie.
Fucking Caleb has feelings and shit. It appears that way.
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
I don't know why it took so long for me to get an Israeli affiliate on. You know, when the war first started, I was trying to get some of those dudes on.
Well, they're too busy fucking fighting the war. Did you want to watch this?
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Before, I kind of want another cup of coffee. I wonder if my wife will bring me a coffee. I'll have to pee too. Let me see. Can I get another coffee? Okay, let's watch this and then I'll pee. Okay, yeah, let's watch this. Thank you.
CrossFit Open 2025. We open together, but not really, as CrossFit has decided to ban all transgender athletes from participating in this year's Open, as well as encouraging any.
So that's not true, right?
Correct.
But I think that guy thinks it's true, and I want to understand why he thinks it's true. Or if he's willing to even like admit that, like, yeah, I know it's not true, but I'm so pissed. Like, I mean, or maybe he's gonna stick to his guns, like, hey, like where could we agree? All humans can compete in the CrossFit Open, right?
Yeah. You can compete in strongwoman if you wanted.
Hey, would it be equivalent to? I'm just trying to understand what you think. Let's say I wanted to compete in the dwarf class.
Okay.
Would they let me?
Sure.
Okay. Well, then maybe has a point. Maybe they should. Maybe they should. I'm guessing that they wouldn't.
Oh, you don't think so?
No, I think if I tried to enter, if I called, I should call Kevin Oga right now, and I wanted to enter into the wheelchair division because I own a wheelchair, he'd be like, "No, dude, you got to have like, okay, here, the people who are neurodivergent, you have to like send. Remember, I had that lady on, and you have to send a video of you in a doctor's appointment with him basically diagnosing you as retarded. Remember, she had to do that.
Yeah. I remember that. It's like, hey, I'm actually fucked up. Here's a video of how fucked up I am.
So I wonder if I could establish with this guy. I need to like pin him down, or so I can understand. Like, I want to understand his thinking. We do agree that all humans can enter the Open. Like, here's the thing: if you're in a wheelchair, you can still enter the regular division too. You have 2 divisions.
Yeah,
but people who, and I want to know if he finds it offensive if I call, like, he has a transgender kid, and I want, like, is his kid pretending to be the opposite sex? Would he consider it pretending?
That probably not.
I don't know anything I do. I'm not pretending.
What do you? You're just pulling from what? What?
Like, dude, anything I do, I'm pretending. Like right now, I'm talking to you. I'm pretending to give a shit. I'm pretending like it's not like none of it's like it's all creative. It's all manufactured. I think the only thing I do that's not pretending is sleeping, and I'm not even sure what the fuck I'm doing when I'm sleeping. That's what pisses me off about sleeping. Do you know what I mean? Are you following me?
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I wish that I didn't have to sleep, and then I go like 48 hours, and I'm like, God, that fucking sucked.
Yeah, it ruins not sleeping ruins the quality of. But wouldn't you like to know what you're doing when you're sleeping? Like, where's Caleb go?
Yeah.
Like, hey, dumb fuck, you don't have to tune out. We're just resting. Stay with me here. And so when he says pretending, women pretending to like sex.
Did you come? Yeah. Did you? Yeah. Sure.
God, it must be so fun being a girl just to fucking just sit there and just get railed.
And then be pissed because you didn't get off when you're done.
I'm trying to think. I want to say, well, I wouldn't care, but yeah, I can't ever. Can you think of any time you had sex where you didn't come?
Yeah, but then like 30 minutes later, we just started going back at it, and then
Why not? Did you get interrupted or something? Like, I just can't imagine being unless like there would have to be like an earthquake, and even then, I would try to finish really quick. There would have to be like open up, police. Okay, 2 seconds. Sorry, babe.
This is the end of the line.
Oh my. Okay. So sorry, I lost my train of thought. Okay, let's keep playing. So this guy. So we disagree with that, and I just need to know why. I'm open to why he thinks transgenders can't participate.
Okay.
And the only thing I can think of is the fact of like I can't participate in the dwarf class. Is that the same?
Okay.
You know? Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
see.
Okay.
Who suspects somebody else of being transgender to email them so they can be investigated. So for myself, who has been a part of CrossFit for 17 years, who has done every single open, and who has been an affiliate owner of Pacific Strength CrossFit here in Oakland, California for the past 9 years, with those type of rules and regulations,
Can you pause this?
none of that matters.
Does it actually say that in the rule book? If you suspect someone's competing in the wrong sex division, like someone to report them and they'll investigate it? Does it actually say that?
I have no idea. I've heard that a few times, but I actually haven't gone to investigate. Let me go look.
I actually agree that that's stupid. That doesn't need to be said. I also think like, hey, like if someone reported me for like, let's say I entered the one arm division like this, and people are like, hey, dude, you got to ask that dude to turn around. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here we go. Gender classification policy. Here we go.
It must be an Jesus Rambler. Listen, it must be an emotional connection. That's why you can't come. Listen. Tell me you're 23 without telling me you're 20.
Oh, here we go. Rulebook 9.03 challenges to an athlete's gender classification. Any athlete may confidentially challenge the eligibility of another athlete under this policy by submitting a written request to blah. CrossFit reserves the right to request verification of an athlete's gender assigned at birth to ensure compliance with this policy. All challenges will be reviewed and resolved in a manner that prioritizes athlete privacy. There you go.
Well, I know this. Every year there's tons of people who report other people for shit, like being on steroids, working out at the wrong gym, using a fake name. Editing videos. You know what I mean? Like to make it look like read it to me again. They're saying that they would investigate if you reported it?
CrossFit reserves the right to request verification of an athlete's gender assigned at birth to ensure compliance with this policy.
Yeah, that's fine. Does it say anything about snitching on people?
No, that was the first. The first line says any athlete may confidentially challenge the eligibility of another athlete under this policy by submitting a written request.
They should have just made it a generic thing.
They shouldn't have made it specifically for the gender classification.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that. They should have just said, hey, by the way, if anyone has any, we know that the event is huge. There's hundreds of thousands of people. If you have any concerns about someone breaking any of these rules, feel free to contact us.
Yeah.
If they were going to say that, they shouldn't have. I agree with them. They shouldn't have. And maybe they do say that. Maybe in every section, at the end of every section, it does say that.
I don't think so.
Oh, well, yeah. Then that's a fuck up, right? Hey, dude. If they ask me, I would send them. Just a fucking hog pic.
It would be one of those from like you just hold the phone under your balls, and so then your head's peeking out from over your fucking.
Dude, I would edge myself so hard and make that thing just the veiniest, biggest fucking.
Look, it's as big as my phone, dude.
Yeah, I would make it. Yeah, and hey, dude, I would make it. And you're right. From that angle under your ball sack, you could make your head look like it can hide behind your dick.
You just stick your little your eyes go on either side.
Hey, dude, I might actually try to take that picture.
I bet Taylor would do it and send it to the group.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna report Wooly.
No,
Granny.
Oh shit. That would be fucking hilarious.
Okay. So I disagree with him. On them not allowing transgenders, which I think is objective, and I do agree with him on the subjectively, which is a subjective rule that it's kind of weird to just pick trannies out. That doesn't seem cool. Like, hey, if you're gonna have a report people, just report people.
Yeah, not ideal.
Okay, let's go on.
It all ends with that. So we will let our affiliation lapse later this year. But this gym, Pacific Strength, this community will continue on and absolutely thrive. We're
Papa,
going to host.
so Pacific Strength is in Oakland, California, which is
Yeah.
one of the most fucking corrupt liberal cities in the fucking country. It is like really, really bad. Like this city, you cannot stop at a gas station outside the airport without having your fucking luggage stolen. Like even if you're standing next to your car, they'll fucking bip your car while you're there. This is the only city in the fucking world where a fucking In-N-Out has ever closed.
Jesus.
You have, and it was a successful In-N-Out, like making so much fucking money, but there was like a crime every hour in the parking lot. I mean, Oakland is so fucked. Their mayor's being charged by the feds right now, 95 with a possibility of 95 years in jail. This town, they have a universal income there for trannies and blacks. I mean, it is a fucking crazy racist town. It is a bizarre place, and it's one of the most beautiful places on earth too. Like you can grow anything there, and it's close to San Francisco and the water. I mean, it's like pristine fucking real estate, and it's fucking nuts. Okay, go on. Sorry, go on. So just know that's the gym he's at. I mean, it is it's the mental ill capital of this country. Maybe there in Boston. Okay.
Our own Friday night lights with the open workouts, but we are going to encourage everyone to take that $20 registration fee and donate it toward one of the 3 foundations that we have linked in both my bio and Pacific Strengths. Those are Lambda Legal, the Trevor Project, and the Out Foundation, who actually has their own open leaderboard set up. So we encourage people to go over there and register as well. As a father to a trans child, I can't imagine being connected to a company that believes that my own kid or any transgender person cannot participate in something that I do every year.
Okay, pause.
And if they want,
there's the problem again, right? He says they can't participate, but on the other hand, I completely understand his passion of defending his kid.
He can't participate, but the whole gym's gonna do the workouts.
But he's gonna de-affiliate.
Yeah.
Okay. So me and him are still on the me and him are still like, I think I still understand where my perception of reality differs than his. I think he can participate. He's still saying he can't participate. And the only way I can get my head wrapped around that is like if I wasn't able to participate in a division like the dwarf division or the one-arm division. You think that that's a fair, I'm comparing apples to apples?
Yeah.
Because he's saying someone born a boy should be able to compete in the girls because my words, not his, thinks he's a girl. Maybe he thinks it transcends thinking. I don't know. I don't know what those people think.
I don't think it's like I don't perceive it as a thinking thing. They think that they're trapped in it. Like they're I don't even fucking know how to explain this. Like whatever their mentality, whatever their like, let's call it a soul, whatever, is stuck in the wrong body. So they think that their internal plumbing, whatever their identity is stuck in the body of the wrong sex.
The reason why I can't understand it is like, think of thinking as a verb, right? Like an action.
Sure.
I never think I'm a boy.
Okay, yeah.
I never I spend no time. I don't even know how to think that I'm a boy. So that's why I don't understand what it's like to be transgender. Because like, I just like, I see the symbols on the bathroom and I choose the one that like I group with, like I swim with that group, but I'm never like, I'm a boy, I need to do this. I'm a boy, I need to pay the bills. I'm a boy, I need to, never think I'm a boy, so I don't know how it would be to think you were a girl. I don't know how to think about I don't think about boobs. I just put my face in them.
I don't think about them. I just reflexively look at all of them.
Yeah. Me too.
Dude, like it's not even a question. Like,
hey, it's a fun game
I'm
trying
in the
not to
grocery
look
store,
at them, isn't it? It's a fun game trying not to look at them. It's weird.
impossible, dude. Oh god. I'll remind me to tell you a story about a set after this. It's impossible, dude. It is so hard. I'll be just walking around the grocery store, and it's just like midday on a Sunday. All the hot moms are just doing their weekly grocery shopping, and it's just fucking possible.
Do you ever go to the grocery store and you're just in there and like you're just looking around at everything and every single person and every piece of fruit, and like you're just on full hyper alert mode, like you're looking at everything, right? And you notice like, wow, no, I don't see anyone else looking around at anything.
Oh yeah,
and it's kind of like you're in a dreamscape. It's like, wow, am I in a fucking like a simulator right now? How come no one else is looking around at shit?
Right. Like I feel like I'm not in real life, or like that I don't exist. I'll just walk around like nobody's looking at me, and I'm just like, okay, well, I guess I just don't exist here. Like, you ever see those like AI generations where like there's nobody in this massive building? Like you're just the POV of somebody just walking through a building that's completely empty.
Yeah.
It's like that, but there's a fuckload of people and nobody's looking at you. You're just like, it's so eerie and weird.
I love grocery stores. Grocery stores are so awesome.
They're the best.
Okay. So this guy, he doesn't want to partake in an event that his kid isn't welcome in. This particular event, which is the open, I think his kid is welcome, but he thinks his kid isn't, and that we're so still we only have one difference.
Yeah.
Okay. But I do respect the fact that I respect his opinion on not wanting to do something his kid's not welcome. Like I don't want to go to weddings my kids aren't welcome to. Like, I get it. Okay.
They would have to pretend to be
pause
someone.
this. This is probably good. Okay, hold on. You have no clue. God, I hope this is. I need to go back. You say that where sometimes it's not the parents, it's the doc.
I think she's talking about when she's in the grocery store. She's
talking about transitioning kids. Sorry.
Oh.
Sometimes it's not the parents, it's the doctors and therapists. Yeah, that's what happened to Elon. They told him that if he didn't transition his kid would commit suicide. So it's like you said, it's the trolley thing.
Yeah.
That's what Elon said. Okay. Oh, sorry. I was so hoping she was going to be talking about what it's like having the greatest tits in the world and walking around a grocery store.
I just want to hear the stories.
Yeah.
Because I know when I walk around with my wife, it's exactly like that. Nobody's looking at me, and I just walk behind her and just watch everybody.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh.
It's crazy how many women check out my wife's ass. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Or like assess her body. Yeah, it's funny. My wife's oblivious.
So is mine.
Oh, completely oblivious to that shit. All right.
The transgender community right now in this country is being absolutely attacked. So if you see this, I just ask that please find a way to support. If it's reposting this, donating, making your own voice heard, please say something. And if you ever interacted with me in the CrossFit space, if you're an affiliate owner, community member, please say something in terms of what CrossFit is doing right now in banning transgender athletes. It is not right.
Okay, so when he says transgender getting attacked, I'm guessing he doesn't mean like necessarily physically attacked, but like they're being told they can't be in the military or they can't participate, they can't use any bathroom they want, they can't, like things like that. Like they're being they're being told that they have to navigate the planet based on the genitalia they're born with, and there's a cohort of us like myself that thinks that they're mentally ill, so they should be kept away from nuclear codes and flying airplanes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the attack.
And under that, if I if I accept his definition of attack, I'm part of that group that's attacking them, because I don't think that they should be given nuclear codes or allowed in the military or be allowed to use bathrooms that don't coincide with their documented genitalia.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So I'm part of the group that's attacking them. Using his words.
Right.
I think I'm just not being a codependent. I think I'm actually helping them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like he thinks he thinks that you should do needle exchanges because you feel sorry for drug addicts. You should give them needles. I think that you're being a codependent.
Right.
Okay. I see his perspective, but I just don't. But I wonder if he sees mine.
Probably not.
Okay.
Sign up one more time for this open, just so I can be a platform for the trans community through the open, through the semifinals. And if I make it to the Masters, to the games, I promise to be the absolute loudest advocate. Because right now, we open together. This right here, this is not right. The way it should be is this right here. This is what I'll be thinking of. So CrossFit, please do better. Trans lives absolutely matter. CrossFit right now, not so much.
No one's suggesting that their lives don't matter. So, hey, let me see this guy. Does anyone know if this guy, James Kusama, is he a good athlete? That would be, hey, dude, I hope this guy wins his age division. That would be fucking, oh, he's yoked. Let me see. Oh, we need Hiller on this guy. Is this guy juiced? James Kusama. Let me see. Dude, can you imagine if he got on the James Kusama 2024 semifinals, 84th worldwide. Okay, so he's good.
Here you go.
Oh, he's a Black Lives Matter guy too, so he hates black people and doesn't know it.
Yeah.
And for those of you who aren't regular, here's the reason why you hate black people if you're a Black Lives Matter guy. The Black Lives movement got so many it destroyed so many small black businesses. It got so many fucking black people fucking killed. It basically was part of this whole defund the police. It's basically just a Marxist strategy. And the year the Black Lives Matter happened and the defund the police started disengaging for fear of their own personal safety. Of like with being tried in the public eye, and thousands, dude. The numbers are fucking staggering on what happened to black communities. It's crazy. Is that his trans kid? Is that his kid? That beautiful little girl is a boy?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was a boy and now it's a girl.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, I went full Asian dad that morning, all the pictures. Oh, he's Asian?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Also, this kid has an Instagram.
Oh, can I see?
It's private, but
Oh, okay.
doesn't really matter. But they did looks like the news did something on them.
With their 7-year-old child in the hopes of educating more people about the transgender experience.
KTVU's Claudine Wong has their story.
Those are on plate. Lunch with Hendrix is a combination of whipped cream, cookies, crackers, and more whipped cream. Given a little more time, we may have ended up with cake.
Yeah, I love baking. When I start second grade, I'm going to start my own Instagram channel and I'm going to do a lot of cakes.
On the day we hung out, there were lots of giggles. But children like Hendricks often find themselves the subject of highly charged political conversations. What about your pronouns? Which ones do you like?
They, them.
Why?
Because I was born with a boy body, and then it was a girl, and then it was a neither.
How did you decide which one felt like which pronoun felt good for you?
I just know, since I know that neithers usually have they, them, I wanted to do they, them.
We talked to Hendricks with the permission of their parents.
It's scary to be a mom. It's scary to be a parent. It's scary to be Hendricks. Like, I mean, we have had to educate this child in ways that are like far beyond the bounds of what a 7-year-old should know.
But Miranda and James
That's
say they
good.
also
That's-
hope
listen,
sharing
that's
their
good.
family.
That's good. She said that, but I'm not sure. That's good. She said that. I don't know why they had to educate their child on that, but that's a point where I at least agree with her. No one wants to teach. Something's wrong with you if you want to teach a 7-year-old this stuff. Like any of you who have a 7-year-old, like, no. No one wants to teach their kid this, so I agree with her there. I'm tripping on the whipped cream being sprayed in your 7-year-old's mouth, and your 7-year-old knowing what Instagram is. That shit is fucking crazy to me. I mean, you already have the perfect storm for problems. Okay, let's keep watching. This is a lot to take in.
This journey will also help educate others. This is not a journey they anticipated when they started their family.
I think my expectation was going into it was much more like, I'm going to provide all this knowledge and support and love and, kind of mold this child that we're going to have. And it's how much we got in return in terms of them forming us and our thoughts. I never really expected.
With hens, I think what James and I always talked about was you just worry about it being harder and like how you help with that.
Hard or not, they say they followed Hendricks's lead.
I think when they were probably 2.5 is the first time they like asked for a dress. I feel like as a human, you know what you
listen,
want.
parents. Boy, this is a lot. You are not to follow your child's lead. You are not to follow your child's lead at that point. At some point, you are. At some point, you are the bow, and your child is the arrow, and you launch it. And at some point, you follow. You follow. They will lead you to if you do a good job with your firing of the bow. But at 7, you haven't fired the bow yet. There's no following yet. This is this is wild. Holy shit. Okay, let's keep going. This is wild.
And you need, like, it doesn't matter how old you are, like, but then there's that is also kind of like goes up against like society and what society thinks and what society wants. So like I remember calling you, I mean, like, hi, Hendricks really wants this frozen dress.
She's punched a hole in her septum. This thing. I want everyone to reach up and grab that. Does anyone want their mom to have a hole in their septum? I know it's very superficial, but does anyone want to would you like your mom to punch a hole in her septum, Caleb?
I don't really care, to be honest.
Oh.
That's very person to ask.
I don't want my mom to have an OnlyFans. I don't want my mom to going out to the bars at night. I don't want my mom having covered in tattoos. I don't want my mom having a hole punched in her septum. I just want to fucking I don't want my mom dyeing her hair purple. I just want a normal mom. I just want a chill mom who's like not preoccupied with really anything except being the best version of her natural self and taking care of me. That offers the most stability for your kid. She's about to say something absolutely batshit crazy here. Go ahead.
I remember that.
And it was more like a discussion, not of like we wouldn't do it, but it was like, hey, like we're making a choice. Like if we
The boy
do this,
the boy
and they're
wanted
like,
a dress, and they made the choice to get the boy the dress. I'll never forget when one of my kids wanted to be Elsa for Halloween. You don't. It's just my kids say tons of shit. I wanted to be the $6 million man so bad that I believed I was. My parents didn't give me a fucking operation and turn me into a bionic character. How do you buy? I don't understand how you do that. Maybe I'm not ready for this interview. I really don't understand if your son wants a dress, why you get him a dress. You don't even say yes or no. I got in the car yesterday. My kids had the gnarliest jiu-jitsu session. They get in the car and they're bawling because the coffee shop next door was closed and they wanted to get something there so bad. I opened up their fucking pouch. I gave it to them. I ignored them. I drove home. They ate all the food in the pouch. There was some pouches in there, fruit pouches and beef jerky. And we get there. And then they go inside. They stop crying in 2 seconds, right? When they get in the car, they forget about it. They move to the next thing. They get in the car. They eat beef jerky in the pouches. They get home. They eat dinner. We play a bunch of poker. I put them to bed. And both of my twins sitting in my arms go, hey, we're so glad the coffee shop was closed. I go, why? They're like, we would have eaten like some bread and stuff. And we're so glad we didn't. Mom's dinner was so much better. You let your kid spray you bought your kid your boy a fucking dress? Why would you do that? Why did you even engage your child in that? You know what my kids want? Like when we go to Home Depot, mouse traps. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like who doesn't want a mouse trap?
Not the
You think
sticky ones either.
Yeah, you think I'm not getting the sticky ones or the snappy ones or none of that shit.
Why not, dude? Come on. Get the snappy ones.
I don't want to be in the ER tomorrow night.
Like those things aren't even that. They don't even smack that hard. They just pinch your skin.
God.
Get him a BB gun while you're at it. Let him shoot the possums.
Hey, my kid also wanted to be Spider-Man. You think I was going to let my kid dress up as a fucking Spider-Man for Christmas? Sorry.
For Christmas?
Or for Halloween.
Okay.
I'm not letting him dress up as that either. Like you could be a cop, a fireman, or a pirate, or a ghost. Those are your 4 fucking choices.
You can either
Until you
plunder
say one of
party
those, I'll
or-
just ignore you. Fucking Spider-Man. Fucking all superheroes are fucking stupid, except to watch on TV. You don't dress up as a superhero. Okay, go on. So they bought him so the kid wanted a dress and they had a discussion. And while she was getting her septum pierced, she went and bought him a dress. Okay. Go on. Jesus Christ.
yeah, cool. And like we bought it, and like I put it on over the little tracksuit. We were at it was at Westfield.
She put it on him.
And like we went, like they got like a little macaroon.
All right. I don't need to hear anymore. I'm done. Fuck. I was so hoping there was going to be something there I didn't understand. So they did it. They trannied their kid.
Yeah. The fact you have to have a discussion about that's pretty crazy.
Dude, here's the thing. It's totally like if at some point, like, you know, you're 12 and Uncle Buck gets you, and then you're 15 and you get the drugs and you start transitioning yourself, and like your parents sent you to school and one of them works at 7-Eleven and one of them's a garbage man, and like you're just doing the best you can and your kid got away from you. I get it. But you have a whole life. Why wouldn't you just set your kid up to be as just normal as possible? And when I mean normal, just normal. No cell phone, no spraying whipped cream into their mouth, just playing outside, catching ladybugs, build maybe a fucking cage for some fucking lizards they catch in the backyard, maybe a fucking teach them how to crochet or sew, teach them how to fish, teach them how to cook, just some fucking, and then if they're 30 and they're like, fuck it, I got into too much MDMA and I want to try like dressing as the opposite sex for a month, then let them do it. Yeah, why not just let your kid be? This is probably going to piss some people off. Why not just let your kid be gay instead of thinking they need to change their entire gender? Yeah, I mean, fuck. Hey, dude, that will alter your brain function as a child. Spraying a can of whipped cream in your mouth as a child will fucking severely alter your brain function.
It's the fact that the kid just has it, like just has the whole can of whipped cream. And
Yeah, when your kid does that, he should be stealing that. You want to set the bar for your kid doing bad shit, like really at shit like that.
That kid just has free reign over the house.
Yeah.
Does whatever it wants.
Like, listen, by the time you want to spray whipped cream in your mouth, you should be old enough to where you don't want the whipped cream in your mouth and you're just trying to get the whip it hit. You know what I mean?
Oh, God.
Wow, 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 wow. I'm not worried about the aerosol. I'm worried about the fucking massive dose of sugar to a fucking kid's brain.
Yeah.
I wish people knew how. All right. Okay. So, all right, dude. Well, I hope you find peace, James. And I hope I do hope you fucking climb to the podium, because I would love it if you wore a tranny flag and all that stuff. And you have a beautiful kid. And your wife's attractive and you're attractive. You have the world's your oyster. I hope that sometimes we all know what happens. And I hope that when you do come to terms with what's happening, that you're as vocal about the entire journey as you are about the beginning of it. If not even more so. Man.
Yikes.
Someone said adaptive has to be qualified. Yeah. Someone sent me, you're not denied the ability to compete. Okay. Did you erase it already? Let's keep going. He says something. We might as well, let's go back to the Instagram video, because there's something he says in there that was a huge red flag that I wanted to give him space for. But after digging into this, I'm starting to think that maybe not so much.
This one or the other one?
The other one.
Oh.
Did we already lose that? I don't want to start at the beginning again. Do we have to start at the beginning again?
Yeah. He was done, I think, after that, but
somewhere at the 40-second mark, he says for his kid to do the open, his kid's going to have to pretend to be a boy. Yeah. And that's where I was like, oh, we did get to that part?
Yeah.
Yeah, that part's fucking, that part was the part that kind of got my brain in a twist.
The kid is pretending. He's pretending right now. You have it pretending from the beginning.
You helped your bro, just so you know, from that news piece, you helped your kid pretend that they were or whatever I forget what it was. It was a boy. You helped it pretend like it was a girl.
Yeah.
My sister texted me, I agree with Caleb, get some traps. Fuck that. We don't even have mice. Help them set traps. Do you remember I'm still afraid of mouse traps. Do you remember being a little kid when you would set them? And you hold it on the outside like this, and you're like, you put that little metal, they're so janky and primitive, right? You put that little metal thing under the hook, and then you go to slide it in.
Yeah. I had to set a bunch when we moved into the Shadican, because fucking obviously.
And when you mean a bunch, you mean thousands.
Yeah. And so same thing, just delicately pulling that shit back, hooking it on, and then just sliding it across the floor to try to get it wherever I wanted it to go.
All right. Do we have anything else? Oh, this is the. Oh no, I should have. I had that clip ready. It talks about the UK being the first Islamic state with a nuclear bomb. I should have shown that to him.
Jesus.
Okay, I have to pee. I can't. What's today?
Tuesday.
Guys, I think Kill Taylor's on Thursday. I think Kill Taylor's on Thursday at 10:30 a.m. Does that fuck you up? Will you be at work?
Yep.
So we need a master of the we're gonna need a master of the clock.
10:30 your time?
I think so. I'm gonna call him right now and find out. I should put. I'm thinking about maybe putting Taylor in my favorites.
Oh yeah. Might be a
Like,
good idea.
I can just find his phone. I probably call him once a week. Hi. I want to buy the boys' dresses. Hey. Is this Taylor Self? Hold on. Your shit's all fucked up. Hold on. I think that's my fault. Hold on. Taylor Self? President of the CAC? Taylor Self?
Yeah, this is Taylor Self.
Have you talked to JR today?
I talked to him yesterday. Dude, my house is so fucking nice. I'm just sitting outside at 75 degrees, doing some programming, self-programming. Bryson's not here yet. He's coming later.
I know what self-programming means. Okay, so how's JR doing? Is he good?
Huh?
How's JR doing? Is he good?
Yeah, why wouldn't he be good?
Shit, I don't know. Just wondering.
I've heard some rumblings, Taylor.
About?
I don't know. I heard he's not good.
I didn't hear he's not good. I don't know what I've heard.
Yeah, what are you talking about? What are you guys talking about? Why don't you just fucking say what you're talking about?
I don't think it's my place.
I don't think I know enough to talk about it.
But it's my place?
I mean,
you know him.
Yeah, he lives in your neighborhood.
Yeah, he's right down the street.
He doesn't live in my neighborhood. I would say
on a 1 to 10, how is he?
He'll get over it. I think oh, man.
Hiller says, dude, shut the fuck up about JR.
Thank you, Hiller. Thank you. JR's fine. He really is fine. And
is it like when your girlfriend says she's fine, or is it like
no. That's funny. Definitely no, he's actually fine. I just think that there's a lot. Oh man, I can't say anything. Can't say anything about it. It's not my place.
What the hell?
What time is Kill Taylor on Thursday?
I don't know yet. I coach in the evening. Coach 5:30 and 7 p.m. And the guys were coming to deliver my garage and building at on Wednesday, but I think it's going to take them a day and a half. So I think they're also going to be working on Thursday. So I think my plan is to do and I feel like 10:30 a.m. should be fine. It's supposed to be pretty nice, so I'll probably work out at my house. I just want to be here while they're delivering that shit and doing all that work,
What time? When 10:30 a.m. your time?
Yeah, so 7:30 a.m. your time probably.
Oh shit. Okay. So tentatively, no, that's good that I knew that. I know that. That's fine. Tentatively 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursday. Kill Taylor will be.
Yes.
Okay. And
tentatively, yeah.
And when will you know for sure? Thursday morning.
Tomorrow, because I'll talk to the guys tomorrow when they come and deliver, and I'll have a good idea of when they'll be here on Thursday, if they'll even need to be here on Thursday.
Okay. And do you have a show with JR today?
No, we have our show Shut Up and Scribbles Fridays. We'll do a show Friday evening. We'll be yeah.
Okay. All right, if you talk
We just got sponsored. We just got sponsored by the fucking sickest company too.
Oh, congrats.
Dude, it's insane. It's called High Ground Beef Chips. Dude, you should reach out to the guy. If Josh, if you're listening, I'll text him and get him to send you some chips. Dude, if for a 2-ounce bag, this is 2 ounces of fucking beef chips. It's 52 grams of protein and 5 grams of fat. 2 ounces. In 2 ounces of food, you can have most men in America. There's no fucking shot most men eat 100 grams of protein a day. You get half your daily protein. I mean, for you, that should be a third in 2 ounces. That's like 7. Dude, it's insane. And the only ingredients in it are salt, beef, and cayenne pepper. They're fucking insane. It's like beef jerky, but I don't have to pretend to like it. You know what I mean? How like beef jerky is like, oh, I'm going to eat some beef jerky. I need a snack and it's beef, so I'm going to eat it. But it really just tastes like shit. It has all these nitrates in it. You get kind of a headache after you eat it. This stuff is wildly good.
Hey, a 2-pound bag is $240.
It's not cheap, but listen, if you want to make America healthy again, starting with your fat ass self, and I'm not talking about you, but I'm talking about anybody who's listening and you're struggling with your fucking weight, you can't get enough protein, you're eating like shit, dude, stop going to Starbucks, stop the trips to McDonald's, John Young. In a month, you'll have enough money to buy a 2-pound box, and get in good shape. It's insane. It's so fucking good.
I'm buying a half-pound bag right now.
And I don't even want to, and I don't even have to go, like, I sound like a salesman right now, but listen, they sent me a half-pound bag, me and JR, to try. I eat a whole fucking bag immediately. Then I look over and Lizzie's finished the other bag. And then the other day we're on our way to the antique store. We're talking about it. And the guy, Josh, texted me. He's like, dude, I'm refunding you. I'm like, what are you talking about refunding me, dude? And I asked Lizzie, I was like, what's he talking about? She's like, I just bought a 1-pound bag. Don't tell him not to refund us. And I'm like, dude, don't refund me. Lizzie bought a 1-pound bag as we were talking about me asking for more product. That's how good it is that she's willing to go and spend her own money. It's not even my money. She spent her own money on it.
No, your wife has her own money.
Now.
That's a problem. We'll talk about that.
Dude, she has her own money, but not that much.
Okay, thank you.
You give her a $200 a month stipend or some shit?
No. She makes her own.
She has a coin purse. She has a coin purse. She didn't got a wallet.
She has a coin purse. When we first started dating, I had like, dude, I could barely pay rent month to month, and she was buying everything. And I don't want to say the roles are reversed now. She definitely makes money, but crazy. It's crazy how we've grown. But anyway, it's insane. And the owner's the owner's a 13-year veteran from the SEAL teams, and the other owner's an EOD, Navy EOD guy.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, they're the fuck. Dude, they're cool as fuck. Josh McCandless is the EOD guy, and Dylan, I can't remember his last name. I haven't met him or talked to him yet. Josh McCandless, the EOD guy, does Sentinel, and the other guy, the SEAL, I don't know his name. Dylan, but I know his last name. But they're cool as fuck. They're red-blooded Americans. They love the show. We should also get them to reach out because they talked about sponsoring a couple of shows of Phil Taylor too. And like that's a product that's like that's a consumable that, dude, it'll fucking destroy on that show. It's so good.
I'm gonna feed this to my kids and see what they think. Hey, it's cool that there's no nitrates in it. That's the big problem with all the beef jerkies. They all have like celery salt or nitrates in them.
Yes, dude. But here, it's not even jerky. They are thin like chips, and you bite into them and it crunches like a fucking chip. It's the most satisfying thing ever because I love chips. That's like my weakness. Deli sandwiches and chips. And I could eat a bag of these and I feel like I'm eating tortilla chips, but it's 52 grams of protein and 5 grams of fat. It's insane.
I think I'm thinking about reporting John Woolley as a tranny.
You should. I think he's got to at least submit his hormone profile so that we can be sure.
Yeah.
You know, because he definitely has some like stuff going on in his breast area that looks like maybe he's had a kid or might be having a kid. You know what I mean? How they're like, they just look a little inflamed.
Oh, I know what you mean.
He's got flamer titties. Inflamed titties, sorry.
Flamer titties.
All right, thank you for the update on Kill Taylor for Thursday. It's for sure Thursday, though? You don't think it's Saturday?
Yeah, has to be Thursday. Yep. Cool. Hey, what the fuck are we doing for the Open?
Oh, I don't know, something. It's not till February, right? What month is it?
It's
February.
Oh, it's in 23 days,
It's
right?
actually, yeah, it's actually February 4th. We have 3 weeks.
Okay. Are we doing something at Charlotte?
Dude, I would love to. I just don't know. We don't have. I mean, I told Andy, hey, we could do something here. So don't make any commitments, coach. And he's like, I would love to. And so we can do whatever you want here. And you know, I don't know if you want to do. You know, I don't know what the plan is. So
Hey,
tell
let me just say this tentatively. So they're going to announce it that Thursday, the 27th.
Yeah.
Last year we waited till Friday, and then I don't remember what we did, but I think Friday we did like some setup at CrossFit Charlotte every Friday, and we did our own Friday night lights.
We did Taylor versus the world. Yeah.
Oh, and who did you do it against?
Remember, I destroyed Dallin. I fucking put my hog in that booty goon's butt. Workout one.
Wait,
and
that
then,
was for the Open? I thought that was for semifinals.
We did it for the Open, and then we did it for quarterfinals. So we did each week. I did week 1 was Dallin, week 2 was Jason, and week 3 was Colton. And then we all got together and did quarterfinals together at Crash.
How did we get Dallin to your gym? We flew him down there?
Yeah.
Who paid for that?
Dude, I think fucking Sarah Cox and Born Primitive paid for it. Pretty sure Sarah paid for quarterfinals and Born Primitive paid for the Open.
Okay, let me reach out to Bear and see if he wants to do that. I'll reach out to him today.
All right. What we should do, what I think would be really cool, is we could do a Thursday night announcement, and it could be either me or Bryson or someone does the workout, and that doesn't cost anything, but we should have 2 athletes each week that we get to Charlotte to go head to head. So I'll do it right when it comes out and fucking absolutely destroy it, and then we should have 2 like athletes who are competing in the season do it Friday head to head or something. I don't know. Just
I know you don't. I know you don't want to squat. You know, I know your knee's in good shape and you're not interested in tempting fate with it. Are there any movements in the Open besides squatting that you're like, I don't want to do that?
No, it's just a squatting workout. If it's a workout with no squatting, I'll beat anyone in the world, and it doesn't matter what it is. I'm gonna fucking destroy everyone.
Yeah, I think we should just bring people out. I think we should bring Dallin, Colton, and one other guy out and have you just do it against them. And if it's a squatting one, fuck it. We'll find someone else last minute.
Oh, God damn it. That gives me so much anxiety.
Yeah, it would give me anxiety too. We could do it. We could do it with Kill Taylor. We could make them just Kill Taylor workouts. Anyway, think about it.
All right.
I just like it because it's easy and because people love you and you're popular already.
Yeah. Yeah. Do people love me?
I mean, love you enough.
Of course they do, Taylor.
They don't love you. They just love your doggy style.
What?
Wow. They love to hate me. All right. Well, we'll think about it and figure it out.
All right.
Damn. What is it? What's it like in California right now?
Raining like crazy. Atmospheric river.
Oh, dude, it's like 75. It's crazy here. It's like a fucking country song right now.
I love the rain. All right. I'll talk to you later. I got to pee. I'm going to pee my pants.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah, bye.
Okay, bye.
Holy shit. 3 hours and 12 minutes.
The hell, dude.
All right. First week, Danielle Brandon. I'm going to get those chips. I got them already. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Love you guys. Great show. Thank you, David from Israel. Talk to you guys soon, Caleb. Thank you.